Storm again on a Saturday night of Modern. We got Dan Karapu and
Brad Yulo. How you guys doing tonight?
so our first match here we got Evan Bell on Lantern Control and Michael Clemens on some Hogak Vengevine post bridge ban. So that should be starting up here in just a couple minutes, with a few seconds.
I think regardless of how much Hogak can get banned and everything, I don't think Mike is ever gonna move away from it.
No. Yeah, the deck's even strong without Hogak or without the bridge in it, just because Hogak is such a beater. Let me see if I can give him a thumbs up. You're good. Yep. Okay. They're getting started now.
Well, it looks like a really good hand right now there for Clemens.
Yep. I know that Evan does run some spell bombs main deck, so that's going to be a big card in this matchup if you can find them. Bridge is going to be another one too. If he's able to find Bridge, it kind of shuts off the entire Hogak plan. Now that Altar's no longer in the deck.
So we got a Stirrings. He looks like he had a really good start right off the bat for Lantern Control.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what Hogak can do.
So he's probably going to start with an Insolent Neonate.
Yep.
It looks like. Yep. Neonate. Looks like he's got double Vengevine too. Oh, that could be brutal next turn if he just follows up with Neonate, 1-drop, pitch a couple Vengevines.
So we
Looks
haven't
like
really.
he does. It looks like he's got Carrion Feeder and I think is that Carrion Feeder
No,
or
it's a
Stinkweed?
Stinkweed, 2 Vengevines. It looks like a Marsh, a Blood.
Yeah.
So he has 2 fetches. He has. So he doesn't have the Carrion Feeder though,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't think he cares at this point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sparks, do you get the draw? Oh, your Dark Blast.
Yeah.
That's a dead card in this matchup. But he's able to find a 1-drop here. He can bring back double Vengevine. It's almost interesting if he just didn't play the Neonate turn 1. This turn, I guess
Yeah.
you could play 1, at least get 1 Vengevine back. Although I guess, how does it? Yeah, because it's when you cast the second one.
Yes.
So you'd be able to bring 1 back, but if he's able to find a 1-drop this turn, that'd be great. So you can still go for it here. If he pitches the Vengevine and tries to draw one. Nope.
Nah, I don't think Mike is gonna try to go right off right away.
Yeah, he could pitch that Stinkweed up though and start dredging.
Yep.
And there's the bridge.
So what is in Evan's hand though as a moment? He does have 3 cards left. Oh, look at
Grave
that.
crawlers.
Look
Oh
at
my
that
goodness. It's a heck of a dredge.
So he has 2 other Grave Crawlers. Is that a Crypt Breaker?
Yep, that's
Okay.
a quick breaker there.
And there's another Vengevine in there.
Now I'm wondering if Michael has outs to bridge main deck. I'm not sure if he does. Does he get double Vengevine back? How many cards does Evan have in hand right now?
It looks like he had 3. It does look like 3.
Yeah, 3's the magic number right now.
So I believe he might have an answer due to the way he's still playing. He hasn't slowed down the way he was playing or anything, so he might have an answer.
Let's see, maybe his
Let's
trophy main
see.
deck. All of his wear tears are sideboard. I wonder if he has trophy main deck. Actually, I don't think he's on trophy. I think he's just on wear tears, if I remember right. So I'm not sure. Oh, that's smart. So you can Dark Blast and hit once.
Yep.
Okay.
That's a nice play right there.
Let's him dredge next turn, too.
He's just going to keep doing it unless Evan just gets rid of his hand.
That bobble's really awkward, too, because he can't crack it because it just adds more cards to his hand.
Yep.
So what does he have in hand? He's got a land to play this turn.
There's a Glimmer Void. But what else is in there?
Yeah. I mean, he'll be able to play at least one more thing out of his hand. That'll leave it at 2, so the Grave Crawls will be able to get in. It's like a trophy. I see a trophy in Evan's hand. I didn't see what else was there, though.
So Evan's been on Lantern Control for a while, has he not?
He's been on some type of, War Prison or Lantern for a long time, yeah.
Okay,
he's
so
played
he's been piling it no matter what.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he was on, the original, I think it was Blue-White Lantern.
Okay.
When they started playing it then. Oh, surgical. Interesting. Okay.
What do you hit the Faithless? Yeah.
It looks like Faithless Looting, yeah. Now we might be able to see
Yeah, we'll be able to
Comes with outs
see a
here.
little bit better.
Yeah, I think, and the other thing is too is if he didn't have outs, I think he probably scoops the response to that surgical, just because you don't want to give the free information to Evan here, if he doesn't have a way to destroy bridge.
Yeah, which is I'm assuming Evan just doesn't run one surgical.
I think it's 2. I'm not 100% sure.
So if he finds the answer right here,
looking through trying to find it.
what looks like there's
Yeah, I don't
see any.
I don't see an out to it. So once he plays this trophy at like the Vengevine or whatever, then I think it's gonna be game. He's down to 2 cards, and he'll never have less than that. It's unfortunate post bridge ban because before the bridge ban, this was an incredibly great matchup
Yes.
because you just play altar and just kill them. He's saying, hold up before, yeah, trophy of Vengevine.
Yep.
And I have 1 card in hand. Yeah, Michael might just keep going just so he can get more information about what Evan's doing, just to see what's in his deck and how he's planning on winning the game, which it's literally just a mill plan main deck. So this just come down to time kind of for them.
Which is fine. So I think Evan has the thoughts. He's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I can sit on one, or I can just play it. I'm not gonna do anything. Yeah.
Take the Vengevine.
Yep. That's fine. At this point, I really do believe Mike's just gonna keep playing it out.
Nope, there
Yep,
we go.
oh,
Okay,
there it
let's
is.
skip it. Okay. Yeah.
So he obviously didn't even want to play it out because he knows what he's on
Yeah.
already. So Mike does play the wear and tear, so that's obviously going to come in.
Yeah, the 4 wear tears. I would say most likely the Silent Gravestone will come in as well.
Yep.
Because he already saw the surgical main deck. And most likely I would say the 2 Thoughtseize. I think probably those 8 cards are coming in, and then just trimming down on some of the just 4-ofs in his deck, most likely. Probably taking out some number of essentially some number of Vengevines or something like that.
So
Once he targets.
on Evan's side, though, I can see Cage coming in.
Yeah, so the one thing that's weird is he has Karn in his deck, so he's able to wish for it out of the sideboard if he wants, or he can put it in his main deck, but then you have to draw into it. And
Okay.
he doesn't run Whir in his deck because he's running just black-green Lantern, so it's not like he can go search it out of his main deck.
Yeah.
So I think he's got the Spellbombs main deck already, but I think the Cage might just stay in the sideboard, and he might just
Hopefully get that Karn.
Yeah, just bring nothing in. Most likely they'll bring in the 2 welding jars just because he wants to have as many of those effects to prevent either whatever it would be, Wear Tear, Ancient Grudge, something like that.
Yeah, because it seems like everything else, he does run the Lattice package, but
Yeah, so this matchup is really just highly dependent on if Evan is able to draw a bridge and a welding jar to protect it.
Yep.
But if Michael could get can get like Wear Tears or a Thoughtseize down early to take a bridge away, that'd be really big.
yeah, Clemens will be going first, though, so he could have that big explosive start. It's not going to be like the regular Hogak, but
yeah, like I said, like after that ban, like nothing about bridge nothing about bridge getting banned prevents you from putting 20 power in play on turn 2.
No.
So like it's still very possible. You're just like, oh, there's my 2 Vengevines, and I flipped my Hogak over.
Yeah.
I guess I'll play a Hogak this turn, and then you have like a Hogak, 2 Vengevines, and like a Carrion Feeder in play.
The deck is super viable still. I saw the banning, I was like, cool. They just don't do their normal thing.
Yeah,
It's,
like I think that. So people were like, a lot of people were saying, oh, what's going to get banned? Something has to get banned. I said, bridge is the most likely card to get banned because they're not going to ban a new card. And bridge shuts off the altar combo, which made the deck attack on a totally different axis, which made it is what really made it the most powerful deck in modern. But now they have to win through combat, which, like you saw in this matchup specifically, it makes it a lot more difficult.
All right, so let's see in Michael's hand.
I see a Vengevine, a couple Bloodghasts, Looting.
And then there's
So he's got double Bloodghast turn 2.
and there's that Silent Gravestone too.
Yep. and a carrion feeder. So this is an interesting one. Silent Gravestone's a one mana, right?
I believe it is.
I wonder if he leads on that, and then plays the looting the next turn just to protect the Bloodghast from getting surgical. I know he doesn't currently have a second land. Did our mics just go out? Can you still hear us? Still.
Hello?
The power just went out on this thing. Maybe? Hello?
It sounds fine to me.
Oh, does it? Oh, that's weird. It's just like, does yours?
Yeah, mine's going in and out.
I don't know. I don't know if there's anyone in the chat that can hear us. Let us know if you can. Yeah, looks like Michael's keeping his hand, though. And then Evan, I believe, took a mulligan already. Looks like he has...
And this is the first Modern on a Sunday with the new mulligan, too, so...
Yeah. Yeah, I know I saw a trophy in Evan's hand. I'm not sure what else he's got. Some Michael, yeah, Fetch Shock and a Blood Crypt. And we'll probably either see, most likely, either the Looting or the Silent Gravestone this turn. Looks like it's going to be the Silent Gravestone. Yep, I think that's probably the right play, just to make sure that he doesn't get his Bloodghast Surgical. He gets set back, multiple turns.
That's a really good hand. Can't really see Evans. I know I see a Ghost Quarter. I don't know. Is that the M21?
Oh, this is the two-sided tutor. This is really weird that he's playing it this early. So
that's the one where he gets to search, but his opponent gets to search
no,
as well?
both players get to search their libraries for a card and put it on top of their library. So this is really interesting for Michael because he needs a land, so he can't just throw a Bloodghast on top or a Wear Tear. So he could put just a land on top. Oh, he's grabbing Cage. Interesting. So you could just put a land on top to guarantee that he draws it next turn. And then he's able to just loot into the loot into whatever else he wants. Or he could kind of risk it and go grab a Wear Tear. And, you can risk it, go grab a Wear Tear, and hope he just draws a land off the looting.
Yeah. I really do think this is kind of early, though, for that now that I'm thinking about it.
So it'll depend on what Evan still has in hand. Because if he's able to play, a Codex Shredder or something like that this turn and just mill Michael's top card, then it makes this completely worthless for whatever Michael's grabbing. So this will be really interesting to see how he, how the rest of this turn plays out for
Well,
him.
we already know hidden information because Evan did reveal it right off the bat.
Yeah.
So Mike, we automatically knew he was going to go for that Wear and Tear just to try to stop the Cage.
Oh no! Did he cut the card back in the middle of it? Did he accidentally cut the? He might have. I'm not sure if he did or not.
I think Mike noticed it.
I think Mike accidentally cut the other card back into the middle.
Yeah, that's why we leave the card on the side, cut, and then we put it on top.
Yeah, just like I think.
Yeah, so little confusion. So what he did was they both tutored for the card. Card's supposed to go on the top. So what happened was when Evan presented the deck to be cut, he put the card back on top and then he cut it. So what happened was it should have been, card should have been on the side. They should have cut the decks and then the card should have gone on top. So we're getting that settled right now. Both in good spirits, kind of laughing about it, a little giggling.
Okay, yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay, yep, that's what it was.
So I already explained it, basically.
Yep.
Put it on top, cut it.
Yep, so Evan's going and grabbing his card back. So hopefully he finds a land here. Oh, I missed the land.
So that's a little risky because he needed that land, but he had to go after the Wear and Tear just so he can get rid of that Cage.
land here? Is it gonna be okay? I mean, you can still just play the Neonate and try to draw a card here.
Yeah.
I guess you can pitch. Yeah, the other Bloodghast he's got already.
Yeah, might as well pitch the other gas, and he got another Neonate. It looks
Neonate.
like
Yep.
Night's not starting off well for Mike there.
Yeah, and unfortunately now he needs 2 lands in order to bring those Bloodghast back. So you need a land and then grab and then either fetch or whatever, and then be able to cast that Wear Tear onto the Grafdigger's Cage.
Another bobble, and then just
Looks like Evan has a Karn in hand too. Karn the Great Creator. Okay, there's a looting, so that'll help.
So let's see.
Stinkweed Imp. Oh my goodness. We can put the Imp in the graveyard.
Yeah, but he can start.
Yep.
So if Evan can get to.
So Evan has
4
Karn.
here.
So he has the Karn. Yeah. So he might go grab. I don't remember if he had Spellbomb in his sideboard.
I don't remember seeing Spellbomb
I know that
in the sideboard.
he brought the cage. I know he brought the cage in. He had Spellbomb in the main deck. I don't know what he's gonna go grab here. He doesn't have a ton of. Is he just plussing?
I think that's the best bet at
Okay.
this moment.
Yeah.
Get where
Next
he
turn.
needs to, and then just
Yeah,
lock
so-
Mike out even more.
So next turn he won't be able to actually cast the Lattice if he has it because he doesn't have the mana. Wow, Mike's still missing land drops.
I really just think Mike is just way too far behind at this point. There's no.
So unfortunately, if Evan grabs Liquid Metal Coating next turn, although he should have grabbed it at the last turn, honestly, because you grab Liquid Metal Coating, you could play it, just wasteland the Blood Crypt, and then the game's actually over. But as of right now, he can minus it and grab it, but it gives a 1-turn window for Mike to grab.
There's a
to find a land.
jar. Plays another land.
Oh, that jar might do it here.
Oh,
though.
even this.
Codex Shredder. Million.
This is gonna be a land. There it is.
Yeah.
See.
Yeah, he bobbled them last turn.
Yeah.
with all the land
So
on
he
top.
knew what it was. So he was excited about that. But even if Mike gets a land, I just think it's way too far behind.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I do kind of wonder what Evan's doing with the Karn then. I know that he has last. I'm assuming that he has the liquid metal coating, which would just end the game.
Do you see it in there
He's
though?
looking around. Oh, sure. Spell's got a. Well, I mean, protects the cage, I guess. What he's going for? Yeah, he's going for Spellskite. So now Michael and Lynn just need multiple wear tears, basically, and lands. Yeah, that's a Hogak.
That's
Yep.
it's a bad beat right
yeah,
there.
that really sucks. Just did not find the lands that he needed there.
Yeah,
Otherwise, he was looking really good.
He found in everything that he needed to get, but he was missing that land. That's really.
Yep. Yeah, and that's why I was talking about on that tutor to either grab the wear tear or the second land. It was a really close one, whether or not he wanted to grab the land, because he could have gotten something in underneath the cage coming down the next turn. Yeah.
Although I think it was kind of greedy though for him to when the tutor did happen. He knew he only had a 1-lander that was on the field already. He didn't have a land in turn. He knew it was going to set him back a turn regardless. I think at that point you let cage resolve and just hopefully just get your land and just start beating.
I mean this is the way he did.
Yeah,
the turn.
I think.
Yep.
I guess he did it where he was like, well, he's going to get a cage, I'm going to get my wear tear, but I think it was just, you know what, that's fine.
Yeah.
Go get your second land, start beating them with the...
Yep. The thing is, so he had double Bloodghast in hand at that point, and he also had a looting. So if he put land on top of his library and goes, goes start with looting, put 2 Bloodghast in his graveyard, that next turn, and then plays the land, bring back both Bloodghasts.
Yep.
He can start hitting for 4 a turn, which is a decent clock, and even Bridge takes a while to dump his hand and make a Bridge down to 2 cards in hand. So it forces him to interact with it, and then it gives him turns to find the wear tear. When he draws it, it's a live card now because he has the 2 lands. So I could definitely see an argument for just grabbing the land there. That way you can guarantee those Bloodghasts coming back, and you can start getting a clock going.
Yeah. It was a little bad right there for Mike. He just wasn't helping. He wasn't drawing land. So, but it does show Lantern is still powerful in the format.
Yep.
I don't know 100% why it disappeared, but it still looks good.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's still a good deck. Bridge, or Ensnaring Bridge, the other bridge, the unbanned Bridge, is still a good card. Yep.
So So I don't know if we're gonna try to see if somebody else wants to get on or.
Yeah. You want me to see if I can find somebody's sideboard right now and see if I can find somebody out there.
All right. So that was unfortunately a quick match for us for round one. So we're going to see if we can try to move somebody that's in the middle of sideboarding or something. Didn't get a number of people we have tonight, but we will give you guys an update on how many rounds and how many people. If there's anybody in the chat would like to see certain decks being played tonight, and if we have those players, let us know, and we can try to get those on stream for you guys. So with Modern Horizons that came out a few weeks ago, I believe it's been a month now or so, maybe a month and a half. With the printing of a few special cards in M20, Goblin Ringleader was printed, and there actually is a player in the building tonight that's playing Goblins. I would like to see Goblins get on stream. Goblins is actually a really good deck for Modern right now. It looks like we might be getting a match. I'm not 100% sure. All right, so we're getting Storm against Jund. I believe Mitch is on Jund. If not Jund, he's on Amulet. What is he
Yeah,
on?
I believe Mitch is going to be on Jund.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he's been playing Jund, and then Dan's going to be on Storm.
Yep.
I told them that they're good to go whenever. So this is going to be game 3, so it should be 1-1 right now.
So we did a little switch from Friday. We basically, Dan's not in the booth no more, and we let him play Modern. He's testing Storm. And now Dan, the other Dan that we were talking about, is in the stream, so it's really funny. Mitch is actually a really good Jund player. He's been playing Jund for a while.
He's been playing Jund since, what, 1994? Before I was born. No, but yeah, he has been playing Jund. I believe he's got all the entire deck foiled out as well.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he has the new cards foiled out most likely as well.
So is he playing the newer Jund with Ren and 6?
I believe he is.
Okay.
I don't know how far in on it he is. If he's got things like Seasoned Pyromancer or Unearth in the deck. I know some versions are playing that, but I don't know exactly which version that Mitch is on.
All right. So he just
So it looks like K-Command, Bob.
he's got a cleave, footed, K-Command.
Is that a Spellbomb in the back?
Yep.
Yeah, Spellbomb, Inquisition. This looks like a very good hand for Mitch. A really good hand
Yeah,
there.
and then it's not really good right now that Dan's going to be throwing it back, so.
The Linda Mulligan, I think, helps a decent amount with Storm.
So why do you think that? Because we and Dan were talking about it last week on stream, and Dan actually disagrees with the new Mulligan for Storm. He thinks it's very bad for him because he doesn't. The way he was talking about it, he doesn't believe in the new Mulligan basically setting up his hand properly. He still feels like it's letting his hand go down smaller.
Yep.
And he said there's sometimes where he does prefer that scribe, but I was trying to convince
Yep.
him that the new one actually is a lot better because he's like, I get my whole 7 grip and I can get rid of the card I
Yep.
don't need.
So I think the reason why it's actually bad for Storm is because the decks that benefit from it are some of Storm's worst matchups.
Yep.
So I think that's the reason why it kind of tangentially hurts Storm.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's better just as like Storm is in a vacuum. I think it's slightly better because it lets you sculpt your hand a little bit more. So if you have extra lands, you're not just like holding your extra lands and
Yep.
scrying. 'Cause you have no way of like pitching them the Faithless Looting or something like with
Exactly.
Phoenix. Like you have no way if you're just looking at 4 lands in hand.
Mm-hmm.
The scry doesn't help you, but if you have an extra card and you can pitch one of your lands to the bottom, and you get that extra card, I think that's where it helps you with Storm.
So that's the gifts from the Jace,
Yep, from the J Spellbook.
and then that's the Empty the Warrens. Yeah, so
I think he probably just takes the Desperate Ritual here. I think that Mitch has more answers to Goblin
Yeah.
Electromancer in this deck, but he doesn't have one in hand right now, so okay. So he's going to leave him with there. I know he doesn't have an answer right now. I believe he just has the Spell Bomb.
oh, he has a
and-
Cake
and-
Man
and-
too.
Yeah, I guess Cakeman. Yeah, Cakeman will shock it, actually. I
Oh,
want to just off
that's
the top.
Well, we could just get
And-
that.
yep.
So basically, this is just a really rough go for Dan right there.
Yep. I mean, he is going to... Looks like he's going to be able to just curve it and just play Gifts.
Yeah.
And Mitch, I don't believe, has another play, right? Oh, did he? Oh, he's going to play Spell Bomb, I think. Yeah, just cast Spell
Yep.
Bomb.
Just get it out of your hand.
Another land, which isn't the worst draw. He's going to need the 4th land, anyways. But he's going to need to rip. Okay, Ritual's
Alright,
not bad.
that's another ritual. It's not bad at all.
So, if he wants to here, he can Ritual into Gifts, but I don't think it's worth it right now.
No, it's
Although
not.
it is now, it looks like, because of the Collective Brutality. Potentially, that Spell Bomb is really annoying, though.
Yeah, I really don't see Dan getting out of this one. This is the
Yeah.
brutality right here. Is
One thing
just
is,
gonna-
he's not under a lot of pressure right now. The one Bob is going to be doing more damage to Mitch than it's going to be doing to Dan, most likely. But the extra cards, once he ends up finding Tarmogoyfs and Liliana to start
Yeah.
taking his hand away, that's going to cause a lot of
Well,
problems. So
Mitch
it's like-
still has an Assassin's Trophy, and what was the other card? A Cake Man still from the
Yep.
beginning. So
So it looks like Mitch also escalated it to Drain. So it looks like Dan should be at 18, and then now it's 16 off the Bob. And then Mitch should be back up, I believe, at 19.
Yep.
So that piece of the puzzle. Oh, the braid's big here. So you can grab a braid. Oh, is he just going to... Wow, just throw the braid in the grave. He just doesn't even care. I wonder, he might just try to go off next turn with the empty. I think that's his plan. That his next turn, he's just going to try to just go for it. Past in
'cause
Flames is a
he'd
dead
rather
card.
just get the goblins at this point.
Yeah, especially on this board right now. The
Yeah.
board's so empty. This will be really interesting to see how he works this mana. I think he's about on both. He just wants as many rituals as possible here. So, Goyf's not a bad flip for Dan. He just doesn't want any discard. Did he just draw Inquisition?
No,
it
it was
a
another land.
Okay.
But that's still fine because he did get the Goyf off the
Yep.
Bob. So
And he's probably not going to be getting hit with K Command here. He's just going to run the Goyf out. So this is actually a really good position for Dan if he's able to draw a ritual off the top.
Yep.
If he draws Manamorphose here, this is really big.
So how big is the Goyf though? Is it a 5 or no?
It's going to have instant sorcery, land creature. So it looks like a 4/5.
Yep.
So Dan's going to decide here if he's going to just go for it this turn. Depends a lot on what he drew here. I didn't see his draw last turn either off of the Serum Visions either. I just know he described both of his cards at the bottom.
Yeah, I didn't see either.
Oh, Baral.
Baral.
Okay. So this is really interesting now. And it's really interesting here because Baral doesn't die to the K command.
Yep.
So right now Mitch does not have an answer for it, which Dan doesn't know. But being on 2 cards, you could be running low on resources. You could just play the Baral and then Grape Shot the Bob this turn just to take him off of the. But you probably doesn't want to. Actually, he has enough mana to Pyretic and then Grape Shot and then Empty. I believe because he can go up to 3 red there, and then Grape Shot costs 1, and then empty will cost the last 3. So as long as there's not an instant speed answer, which we know Mitch doesn't have,
Yeah.
he'll be able to cast all of it and take the Bob away, and then ping Mitch for, I believe, another 2, and then empty for like 8 goblins. And Mitch will get a redraw from the spell bomb.
Yep.
But having to crack spell bomb now, it just lets Dan just draw into something better.
Everything
later.
that he needs,
Yeah.
basically.
Oh, was that a bolt that Dan drew? That might. I think his last other card might be a bolt, which makes this really weird here because he could potentially wipe Mitch's board, but he couldn't cast the empty. If he bolts and then grape shots and kills both Tarmogoyf and the Bob, but that K command's gonna rip the empty out of his hand then, and then spell bomb and clean it up. So I think he's just trying to decide what he wants to do here.
Yeah, he's trying to figure out what line exactly he wants to take.
Yeah. Now he could just ignore the Bob and just say bolt face and empty.
I think he's going to empty, though.
Yeah, I think he has to play the empty this turn. The question is whether to play the grape shot here. I think it is yeah, it is a bolt.
Okay.
So I think, yeah, bolt face, put Mitch to, I believe, 16. Oh, no, he fetched again, so he should probably be at 14 here. And then he's casting empty, and I believe it's 8. He played Baral plus, 3 more spells now. Yeah.
Yep, 8.
So this is a 2-turn clock now. And depending on what Mitch flips off of the Bob, this could be a quick game. I know he does have Plague Engineer most likely in the deck now, just for the empty plan. So if he is able to rip a Plague Engineer, then it's going to flip right back to Mitch's favor.
Honestly, that's probably one of my favorite cards from Modern Horizons, is Plague Engineer.
That card's awesome. I think it's really good in a lot of different decks and against a lot of different decks too. It breaks the Human's Mirror. It's really good. Okay, so he cracks the spell bomb now. So this is really
that's
interesting.
An extra draw, so that's why
Yeah.
he did it. Well, that's
Wow.
not good enough.
So, and Thoughtseize. This is really interesting that he decided to crack the spell bomb first. I figured he would K command before he did it. That way, just to get the grape shot out of Dan's hand and then take the grape shot away. But I guess he realizes that he just needs to deal with the goblins first.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to get that extra draw at this point
Yeah.
because he needs his only answer.
This is really awkward too, because that Bob is just killing him quicker. I believe that Mitch is at like 11 right now. I mean, I think you just turn them both sideways, most likely, because you're either killing your Bob, which I think is okay right now, because it's just going to kill you in one turn. Or it eats 2. It doesn't eat 2 creatures. Pulse of, is it Marasa? Is that the card? Oh, or, yeah, yeah, no, the other pulse. Or the black-green pulses.
Maelstrom Pulse.
Yep. Okay, that's not bad. It's the Brawl off the field, so it cuts out some of the good draws here. So I believe if Mitch is at 11, if that's right, then that'll mean that it's still actually just short of a 2-turn clock. He'll take 6. Oh no, actually will be. It'll be a 2-turn clock, except Mitch has the K command in hand to deal with one of the goblin tokens, so Dan has to draw anything. If he draws a bolt here, it's really good. It's turn 8 goblin sideways. And Mitch will most likely have to just block, yeah, one on each. And Mitch takes 6. I believe Mitch goes to, yeah, the Brawl. I believe that Mitch should be at 5 here. Yep, that's gonna be game. So I'm gonna cast both. Wow. So that ended up being a much closer game.
Being
than
ripped
I was gonna be.
away his whole entire hand from the
Yeah.
beginning.
But that was what I was saying. Like Mitch didn't have a clock there to do anything with.
It shows you that Dan actually knows how he's piling the deck. He knew
Yeah.
what line. He had to think about it for a little bit, but he went through and he actually thought, well, you know what, I'll take this line instead. He did
Yep.
the right moves, and it was really good.
Yep. And that 3 damage off of the Liliana flipping over
Yeah.
on Bob made a big difference there too. I think that's one thing that he thought about when he was looking at whether or not to grape shot the Bob
Yep.
was that the potential damage off Bob is going to help him more than him just getting the one extra card to potentially flip a Plague Engineer.
I think at that point, he realized that Bob was actually helping him more than it was actually hurting
Yeah.
him. So he's like, all right, I'm just going to let it sit there. Just
Yep.
hopefully.
Yep.
Because even if it was not just Liliana, he could have still ripped over the Pulse like we were discussing, or he could have ripped over a Blood Braid, which is still going to hurt him. So he's like,
Yeah.
okay, that's fine.
Yep.
Let us do it work.
Yep. Yeah, the only 2 draws there was either Pulse or Plague Engineer to get him out of it.
Do we know for sure if he was playing Plague Engineer, though?
Almost every generalist I've seen is, so I'm
And they're
assuming
running
that he
out
has
of the
them
board, or
sideboard.
okay.
They're
So-
normally sideboard. Some before running the main deck to battle Hogak.
Okay.
So you put it on either zombie or I believe vampire or the 2. But now they're at least in the sideboard.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's running any main.
All right.
Yep.
Well, we'll be bringing you guys up with round 2 in a little bit.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah,
See you
we'll
guys soon.
take a little break here.
How you guys doing? Back for round 2 at Game Storm in Lamont, Illinois. We have Jerry, which is on Neo form.
Yeah,
Which-
I'm pumped for this deck, man.
I'm super excited. I went out there in between rounds waiting to see what people were playing. And I asked one of our good friends out there like what he lose to, and he's like, Neo form. Jerry's like, can you really not tell people I'm playing it? So I'm really excited. And Steven is on blue-white control.
Yep.
Uh,
Looks like a pretty stock list. I know he has Gideon, I believe, in his main deck. Steven does. So let's see what his
that opening hand, is that 2 Chancellors of the Tangle?
looks like two Chancellors. I can't tell if there was an Allosaurus Rider in the back. Are those two?
No, those are the...
Are those
Eldritch,
Eldritch
yep.
Evolutions? Okay.
So it's kind of a
So
slow start, but the
he's-
Tangles
yeah.
are really going to be good right here.
So he just needs to draw either a Pact.
Well, it
Yeah.
looked like he has a Summoner's Pact in his hand.
If he's a Summoner's Pact, then he can go for turn 1, I believe. Because he'll have the 2 extra green mana from the 2 Chancellors,
Yep.
and then he'll be able to Pact for the Allosaurus Rider, pitch the 2 Chancellors to it, and then or pitch probably 1 Eldritch Evolution, 1 Chancellor, and then grab the Mull of 5 from Steven.
So he did have...
I saw Dovin's Veto in hand.
Yes. It looked like he threw back into the deck. It was a Factor
And a
Fiction,
path.
which... and
Yep.
So he has a Fountain, a Path, a Veto, 2 Paths, and then a Detention Sphere. That's still a rough start for Control right
Yeah,
off
so-
the bat.
So in this matchup, that's a decent start if Jerry's on a very slow hand. But if Jerry's able to combo turn 1, then that path doesn't really do a whole lot. Should be good to go. Let's see. What the hell? It was good. Yep. Okay, so they're starting now. So reveal 2 Chancellors, it looks like. Yeah. So he gets 2 green mana in his pool. Let's see if he has the Pact. But he just pass? Oh, he doesn't have a land.
I thought he has...
I thought he had a land. Oh no, sorry, he was on the draw. I believe he was on the draw, maybe. So he gets the green mana in his pool now. Is that? Yeah. Okay. So I believe he was on the draw here. So all he needs to really play around here is just like Spell Pierce, I guess, or Path. So I think he just needs to go for it. Yeah. So he's gonna Pact. Go grab Allosaurus Rider.
So this was... Neoform was the deck that everybody was talking about was going to break the format with the new Mulligan.
Yep.
Which
we'll see it in action here. So this will be interesting because he's gonna get to. Okay, so yeah, so he's got to play the land first. Then he has the 2 green mana already, so he's gonna get to put that into. He has to exile 2 green cards first. Yeah, okay, so so he does that, and then he casts the Eldritch Evolution in order to sacrifice it and go grab Gristlebrand. And then he's going to draw 7, and then I'm going to guess that Steven, in response to the first draw 7, is going to attempt to path the Gristlebrand.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's going to have to draw another 7 there, and that'll put him at 6 life, and he has to hit a Disrupting Shoal in those next 7, exactly, the first 7 cards, in order to keep going.
You can see just by the way Jerry's moving through the deck, he's super excited just playing this deck as well.
Yeah. I know he said he played it online, I believe. This is the first time he's playing it in paper, though.
Yes. He did say this is his first time on paper.
Yep.
So.
Which I found it's actually, I've just kind of goldfish with it in paper. And I found that it's actually like not too difficult to maneuver it in paper just because it's really easy to flip through and find everything.
Yeah.
Because generally when you're just drawing all your cards, you know, Simian Spirit Guides stick out real easy. You're like, oh, here's all the red cards. I'm pitching all these. And then you're like, oh, here's my shoal. And then the Autocron Worm sticks out like a sore thumb.
Oh,
it's like the only white card in the whole deck. So it's pretty easy to find those. So he's going to say Path in response. So the first activation, because we were talking about, so he's going to draw another 7. He needs to find is that a shoal? I think there's a shoal right there. And I believe he has the second, is it the another rider? I think he has the second, what's it called in hand still? The Chancellor. Oh, there's a worm. That's an Autocron worm. So he gains, I believe, 15 life now. So Jerry's going to go back up. He was at 6. He's going to go up to, I believe, is that 21? Yeah, 21. So he's going to draw another 7, and they'll be able to draw another 7 cards again. So he bricked on that one. It looks like he needs a, or did he have another show already? Oh, I think that maybe.
No.
Yeah, I don't think he has shoal yet. So he's going to take another 7 here. He has to find another shoal. He has the pack to find another worm. It's another Chancellor.
There it is.
Oh, there it is. Yep, so that's all he needed. So now he can go Summoner's Pact for another Autocron worm. And it's kind of inevitable from here.
Yep.
So he's going to gain another 15, and then he can draw 21 cards on this next one. And he actually has another draw 7 on the stack still. Before that path resolves. Which we need to make sure that he doesn't misplay around that by like trying to cast a sorcery speed spell here. Like if he's going to go for a Lab Maniac kill, which he should probably just go for the Lightning Storm kill. Which if he does, he's fine. But if he tries to cast Lab Maniac, we need to go make sure to stop him. Which you can still try to Lab Maniac kill as long as he has like Manamorphose in hand, because he can just like cast like if he has mana left over, he just have the 1 extra mana to like draw the last card of his deck.
I think he's just explaining right now to him what's going on exactly.
Yep. Yes, we got some of Jerry's fans in here, some of his teammates in the chat watching him play. So how have you guys found the deck to be? Are you guys testing a lot in paper or online?
Yeah. I really want to know that because they said they have multiple members of their team on that deck.
Yeah, it's I saw it was really strong in testing. So.
Okay, so they were testing it online basically.
Okay, so he drew the last. Okay, so this is gonna be a game. So he drew the last 7 cards of his deck. So online, yep. So he'll exile all of his Simeon Spirit Guides. He cannot cast Manamorphose or he will die here, so he has to go for the Lightning Storm kill, which there it is in the front. And Steven's got no lands, and he's got 3 cards, so he can just start pitching a bunch of lands to it. As long as he doesn't throw them all down on the table, he's fine.
Yeah.
Even if he did, he'd still be fine here. Conflagrate. This is a new one. So, okay, that actually is strictly better than a Lightning Storm. Now I'm thinking about it. You just cast it once, and then you flash it back and discard your hand. Oh, that's a good one. I actually really like that a lot better than the Lightning Storm kill.
So we kind of saw Steven's sideboard and everything.
That actually seems really good. Like, is there any reason why that would be worse than Lightning Storm? Like, I honestly can't really think of the reason why.
Well, we might have to get him in here and ask him because his own team said that's his tech too.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that's worse against is just a Leyline. So we're seeing he's bringing in Force Negation, Choke, and I didn't see the last one, if that was the Lab Maniac. Or sorry, not Force Negation, Pact Negation,
yeah.
that is. Pact Negation and Chokes. I believe it was just those 6. I might be wrong. I'm assuming for Steven, I don't even know what he brings in. I guess Ruined Halo's okay.
Did he show that he's bringing in Lab Maniac?
He might have. I think there was another card. I couldn't tell if there was another card in there or not.
I thought there was because the Pact Negations were up in the.
Yep.
Those were the masterpiece ones. I believe the Maniac was in the first one.
Yep.
But I don't think he's gonna bring in Choke. Honestly, he doesn't need to bring Choke in.
No, I think you definitely still do. I think Choke's still worth it just because if the game ends up going long, which it definitely can, because there's a very good chance that Steven has some force negations in his deck, which will be able to cut off the combo turn 1. The Choke will allow him to at least cut Steven off in the mana and play a little bit of a fairer game.
So on Steven's side, I don't know, honestly, see
I
he's
think
going to bring in. He might bring
Dispel.
in. Yeah.
Dispel's coming in. The other Veto, I think, has to come in. Purge can probably come in. It just deals with a quote-unquote fair game. You're right. It's not exactly fair, but it's at least past turn 1, okay? That's fair enough for me. I'd say
Well-
probably Rune Halo comes in.
No, it wasn't past turn 1 actually.
No, that was turn 1.
That's what I'm saying. It
No.
wasn't past-
No. What I'm saying is like a fair game would go past turn 1.
Oh, yeah.
That was not fair.
I was about to clear that up.
if you just had to play,
Yes.
Steven just didn't even get to do anything. He just sat there and watched. He couldn't even path. It was just
Well,
over.
He learned the deck. In
You got to
case
see what
Steven
happened.
ever wants to build Neoform,
Yeah.
he saw how it worked.
Yep.
And now he has Jerry's secret tech of
Yeah.
the configurate.
Of
So
yeah. Which I believe I also saw Lightning Storm in the deck too, which we get around something like Ley Lines
Yes.
main deck, which was, Ley Lines are going around main deck. You're right. Rune Halo is tough because you're right. There are multiple angles. You can win with the Lab Maniac way of just drawing your deck out, Rune Halo. Yep. And as we saw, Conflagrate's a new one,
Yeah.
or Lightning Storm, or you just beat down with an Allosaurus Rider across 6 turns and get it that way. Which I've seen that happen on stream before. Somebody just plays a Allosaurus Rider turn 1 and they're like, "All right, you gonna answer this?" No, okay. I start hitting you with it, and it's like it ends up being like a 6/6 Allosaurus Rider just beating face.
I think what makes this deck even better is people that were really onto this deck have just been playing it and playing it and playing
Yeah.
it since Neoform got spoiled.
Well, it was mostly just since MTGO switched over to the London Mulligan, which
Yeah.
it's been on MTGO for a while, and so if you're playing the deck, then it was
They
was
were
just as
they were
powerful then as it is
abusing it.
right
They were
now
like,
on
okay,
paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think the sideboard's super clean from Jerry too. You just get 4 Lay Under the Void and 4 Sanctity, and I think Choke is coming in because this is the matchup. I think where it's in there for this and probably Blue Red Phoenix.
Yeah,
is
I
my
really
guess.
think Jerry right now at this point, I think he's just gonna tilt the whole entire room because the whole room's not gonna know what to do. They're not. Our
Man.
players are really good here, but Neoform and first week right after the bridge banning, I think they're just gonna be like, oh, yeah, this is a deck.
See, I'm ready for it because I still have 3 Surgicals in my main deck of Phoenix, so that's my way of trying to deal with part of it. But
Well, you're mono red Phoenix, right?
oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Oh, no worry. If they go turn 1, I have no way to deal with
Yeah,
it. Surgical
'cause
does literally nothing.
Dan
against
already
them.
made it seem that you already misregistered the deck on.
That didn't happen. Don't mention.
Oh,
it.
Dan already put it all out there.
Oh, I know. Dan. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I may or may not have accidentally registered a 14 card sideboard in Pittsburgh. It
It's
was
allowed.
Oh, it was totally legal. I did not
And-
present an illegal deck. I had 14 cards.
The good note, though, is
see-
what we took away from that is you didn't get to play anybody that you needed that card from.
See,
which-
that's the thing is the one matchup where I would kind of wanted it. It was Shatterstorm was the last card I was wavering on. I was wavering between putting a Shatterstorm, another Force Negation, or like a Spell Pierce or something like that in my sideboard. And I ended up just not putting any of them in. So I played against Hardened Scales, and I crushed the matchup without the Shatterstorm. And that's typically, I don't even need it in that matchup. And the reason why we were thinking about cutting it was because the Whir Prison decks have gone away from Chalice and all that, and they've just gone to going all in on Urza.
Yeah.
So you don't really need Shatterstorm in the matchup. So ended up not mattering at all.
So,
But yeah.
Jerry looks like it has 2 Shoals, a Neoform, Metamorphose, a Tangle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a land, which I don't think he needs it at this moment, though.
There's no Simeon Spirit Guide. If he had a Spirit Guide, he would. If he had a Spirit Guide, he'd be able to get there because he had Morphos to filter for the Neoform. He has the whole combo in hand, I believe, if he draws 2 lands off the top.
Yeah.
Which all he needs is a blue source because he has that Serum Visions to find the next one. But this is the kind of game where I was saying Choke could be relevant.
Yeah.
Where this ends up going, to turn 6, turn 7. If Steven ends up tapping out for something like a Jace, Jace the Mind Sculptor, and then Jerry ends up finding lands, then casting Choke, and then just shutting the game off, that's where this could be very relevant. But we'll have to see if it makes it that far. Yep, so it looks like Steven fetch shocked for an op, so he should be at 17 now.
Does Steven have the Rune Halo in hand?
On that, yeah, I know he has Dovin's Veto, which I'm assuming he's just going to leave up for forever.
He does
That is
have the
that is
Rune
Rune Halo.
Halo.
I don't think he wants to be playing that yet.
No, I think he sits on it for a little bit. Well,
Yep.
there's the one land he needs.
Okay,
So,
so
what? He's gonna go Metamorphose, right?
no, the green mana's gone now because it was only for your first turn.
Okay.
So he has to cast the Serum Visions here and try to find another land, This is
which-
actually I think he tops both of those. The Sanctum's fine, and the, the Spirit Guide he's going to need eventually anyways, and he could always use that as an extra mana source as well.
he does have, to answer the question, he does have the. Jerry has the pact in his hand of negation. I don't know if are we talking
is that
about
a-
Steven's hand.
Is that under Hell? What's the land that he's playing there? It's one of the not the masterpieces.
That is the Mystic Gate. Zendikar one.
Okay, that's Mystic Gate. Yeah, no, all those alt arts I remember playing back in was that Battle for Zendikar when those came out. Yeah,
The Explore lands or whatever.
what were they?
Expeditions.
Expeditions. That's right. Expedition lands.
Then
Yeah.
the Kaladesh were Masterpiece, and then
Yeah, I know there's a guy. He plays Esper Control mainly on the Star City Tour a lot. I think it's Zach Allen, I think, and all of his lands are like that.
Yeah.
And it's the most confusing thing to watch because I can't understand what any of the lands are. And it's a 3-color deck, too. So, like, you look at it and you're like, is that a fetch land? Oh, no, that was a God of Shrine. Okay.
and the art really does not represent what it should be doing.
Not at all. Not at all.
All right, so here's the Summoner's Pact.
So, I think the most likely way this is actually going to end this turn is I think that Jared's going to actually lose on this turn, or on his next turn, I guess. Because he now has to just go for it because he can't pay for the pack next turn.
Yeah.
And so he's going to cast the Allosaurus Rider, and then when he goes to Neo form it, it's going to get Dovin's vetoed. And Dovin's veto is brutal, too, because you can't even pack the negation it.
Nope.
So I think that's probably the land that's going to have to happen this turn. Yep, so there's to play it.
So there's those
Fetching
two.
two. Yeah, and he is. This is so bad because he has the pack to negation
Yep,
back
this
up,
is
too.
where it gets.
Dovin's veto. And he goes, yep, that's game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, if he drew the land one turn earlier, he would have had that turn one, which is why I think you have to keep that hand.
Yeah.
He was literally just one land away. Unfortunately, you don't get the scry, which obviously gets much better with the London Mulligan because you get those hands where you're that close to getting it. But, you know, having the one scry there, maybe he has the 6 and you're like, oh, I got the land on top, and he can scry one. It was one card away from it. So, yeah, that's a shame though.
Well, with Jerry losing, he's going first, so he can just go right off right away
Yep.
and just basically let Steven just watch
Yep.
once again.
Steven's like, I'm not even gonna bother
No.
trying to
Well,
re-sideboard. Don't need to.
I don't think at this point. I don't think Steven has to because I think what he brought
Yeah.
in is perfect no matter
Yeah.
what.
Yep. There's nothing to play draw in this. The only thing is maybe something like Force Negation, but I didn't see any in the sideboard
Yeah,
for
I didn't
Steven.
see
So,
any in his
and I
sideboard,
think those are
so-
staying in anyways because you want an answer for turn one. You know, Neoform anyways.
Yeah.
And Spell Pierce is not always gonna get there.
Do some little pile shuffling, make
Yeah.
sure gets it all good. Kind of want to know where this team is out of though.
To be honest, that's kind of what I'm looking up right now. I might be Googling the Snapcast right now, by the way. Because I know I've seen, I think I saw some people with like Snapcast gear on or something
They
out
started in Southeast Virginia. There.
at South Virginia. Well, yeah, it's Southeast Virginia. Stefan. Is it spelled with an A or is it just pronounced with an A?
So Nevada, Georgia, Illinois, and Indiana.
Oh, that's cool. Do you guys test online a lot together, or do you guys both just test separately and just chat
So-
about decks and stuff?
I'm wondering
Spelled in it. Okay.
that I'm wondering if this was a group of guys that were
Yeah.
in one of our armed services that just started playing and loved it so much.
Yeah.
So it is spelled with an A. Okay.
Andrew, Steven is spelled with an A. It's Stefan. I guess. I think that's what somebody's telling us.
All right. So
Alrighty. I think we got the switch made. There we go. Yeah, probably not. So let's see Jerry. He's actually very close. He has the Gristle Brand in hand though, which is kind of annoying. Although actually, so this is the great part about London Mulligan. That Gristle Brand's going to the bottom of the library right now. So that's like the greatest part about the London Mulligan is that.
So what is he
guarantees
missing in there though? He's missing a pact.
He's missing a way to. Yeah, he's missing essentially the Allosaurus Rider. It looks like I believe that was a Shoal. It was either a Shoal or a Chancellor. As like the second card from the right. But he has a. I believe that's what that is. I believe that's a Chancellor. So I think he's just missing the Allosaurus Rider, really. Yeah, I believe that's a Neoform in hand. Yeah, it's a Neoform. And I think he already has 2 lands, even.
I only see the one.
It might be one in.
I
Oh,
only see
that's
the
Morphos and
water.
Spirit Guide. Which Morphos and Spirit Guide will also get you there.
Yep.
Oh, the Force and Negation.
There's
There
what
it is.
answers it for us. He does play it, so.
Yep. So this will be interesting to see if Jerry just runs it out there as soon as he gets it, or if he waits till he finds his own Pact Negation. Yep. So Stefan, yeah. So he's got so he's got the Force, and he's got a blue card. He's got the Cryptic, and a Path. So he's got a lot of kind of ways to interact, or at least try to interact here. So I think both those cards are actually okay, because you want the second land. So I think you just leave the Serum Visions on top, so you can cast it, draw into the next land. Oh, he's putting the land on bottom here. Interesting. So I think he's just trying to just find the combo piece as soon as possible. Oh, there's the Allosaurus Rider. So he just needs the mana now in order to cast it, which he'll have next turn. Then the thing that's nice is he doesn't have to pact, so he's not just cold to the Force. If he had to pact for it, then he would just be dead the next turn. Who are the commentators? Oh, thank you. It's Dan Krapu and is it-
Brad Eula.
Yeah, and Brad Eulo here.
Stefan has a really good hand though too, so.
Yeah, it's a really solid hand for this matchup. I mean, Force is great. If he drew a Veto off the top, that would kind of seal it.
Yep.
I think that this matchup would almost be over. So it's really interesting to me to see if Jerry decides to when he's going to go for it, really. I know that there's much less risk right now, just because if there is a counterspell, it doesn't just end the game, even though it sets him back substantially.
Yep.
But I think that means that it's he's just going to do it now.
He's going
He's
right
going
now.
because he's got. Oh wait, no, he doesn't have. Oh no, wait, he scried a green card to the top, didn't he? He needed to scry the green card to the top so he can Morphos into it, because he needs to filter for the blue green.
Yes.
So I see. Okay, so it makes red
there's the
red,
2. He's gonna Metamorphose. He's gonna draw his card, which should be a green.
which it should resolve. I think you have to let it go. Yep. So it's the evolution. So now you play that, pitching those 2, and then the blue green you go for the Neoform, and unfortunately.
Yes.
That's brutal. It sacks as part of the cost, I believe, so that is going to be gone. And now this is going to be, yeah, Jerry's like, no. Well, land's actually not bad because it means he's much closer to getting there. Okay, he's already
So
drawing
he's
like
just-
the nuts off the top right now. Like he's like so close. No, did you kick something?
Oh.
Sorry, some of the power went out on this. Andrew can hear us fine.
That thing doesn't actually. All that does is let you hear each other.
Yeah.
So if that goes
So the
up,
mic's still going?
Okay. So.
Okay, good. So we're still good.
All right. So there's a pact.
No, I
Basically,
think he's
it's just
scooping it
over,
up
yep.
here. Yeah.
So Stefan it was really a good. He
Yeah.
really had a good sideboard plan. He knew what was going
Yep.
on. Unfortunately, it didn't work the way Jerry wanted to. I
Yep.
think.
Well, it's rough with drawing the drawing. He had the answer in his hand, but he had the Dolphins veto. He had to have the Dolphins veto because he had the pact of negation, which it's just it's so rough for Jerry there.
Yeah.
That he even had the answer in hand, but it wasn't. It wasn't the answer.
So do we want to get Jerry in here to at least tell us what's going on with Neoform? Do we want to get another match on stream?
Yeah. Do you want to chat with him for a minute?
I can. You want to interview him? I know you're really hyped about Neoform. I know.
I'm super hyped. Yeah, I will. Yeah.
Let me go get him, and
Yeah, you
I'll
wanna
let
go
you
grab
move
him and
over
see?
one, and
Yeah.
we'll go from there.
We can do that real quick. We can chat with him. We'll see if he wants to talk about the deck or keep it a little sealed. Yeah, I believe I've played him up here before. Actually, I believe I've played Jerry. I don't think he was on Neoform at the time. I want to say he was on blue-white control. I'm not sure if that's correct or not, though. I think he was on blue-white when I was playing Phoenix. I don't know if one of his teammates would know if that's a deck he normally will pilot or not. How's it going?
Hey, what's up, bud?
There you go. It's Jerry, right?
Yeah, Jerry.
Yeah. So we want to throw that set on, or he's talking to the mic there. Yeah. So that was man. Those are some awesome games.
Oh yeah, man. No, I absolutely enjoyed it. It was a ton of fun. Like even just losing with that deck, it's like because combos have been my real thing. I'll just do that for fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was so rough though. In the second, in that second game, when you even had the answer in hand, you had the pact of negation, and then you had the veto for it though, and you're like, oh, you can't do anything about it.
That's just the nature of it. Like if the card is Logic Knot, I win the game, or at least I can attempt to.
Yeah, Logic Knot, Force, Spell Pierce, and any other answer there, you have a chance there to get there.
And the thing is, I think I actually made a misplay on the mulliganing of that game too there, because this is my first time really playing it on paper.
Yeah.
I had a choke in my hand with an SSG, so I could turn 2 choke him.
Okay.
And that's a play that he has to either answer the choke and deal with and hope his hallowed fountains or his lands are like celestial colonnades and obviously the non-basics.
Yeah. I think he had a Mystic Gate, I believe.
He had a Mystic Gate, and I've seen that pop up a few times to get around the choke nonsense. Yep. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, good thing I got rid of that hand. But the game 2 hand was almost there.
The game 2 hand I think was just a land away from turn 1ing.
It was land on top, and I just win. Because I showed the Chancellor of the Annex, or Chancellor, whatever it's called.
Chancellor of the Tangle, I believe.
Chancellor of the Tangle, that's right.
Yeah. So close. So the one thing that one of your teammates mentioned was that the Conflagrate is not it's obviously not standard. That was some of your tech that you put on it.
No, that's a me thing. The foil Conflagrate. For those who've seen me play with the Snapcast, I played it in Ad Nauseam years ago, back before Lightning Storm Labman was the thing.
Yeah.
And the idea with the Conflagrate is with the way the deck functions is you don't have to draw your whole deck to kill them.
Yeah.
Where you have to do that with Labman, and with Lightning Storm that you've seen in a few builds, you most certainly have to with only 13, 14 lands.
Yeah. You have to draw the vast majority of your deck at least, or all your lands or most of it. Yeah, which seems really interesting. I guess the only time that we were thinking that it was where it could be worse is against something like Leyline of the Void. Yeah, you couldn't do it against that, or I guess Rest in Peace.
But who's siding in Leyline of the Void for you?
No, but it's played in main decks, or at least in some when Hogak was really big.
Yeah.
Now is not as much post banning.
Yep.
But it'd be real awkward if that was the win con and then somebody slams Leyline of the Void. Turn 1, you're like, oh, okay, this is a new game.
And after he saw the way I win game 1, I sided it out for the Labman win for game 2.
Yep.
And I was still happy with that sideboard option.
So I think it's interesting. So do you only have essentially one win kind of deck at a time, or do you normally have multiple ways to win in that deck? Because I know a lot of people are playing they'll play Labman main deck and Lightning Storm in order to be able to win either way.
For me, as it stands right now, I've been on the 1-1, where if I board in one, I board out the other because I have to have a critical mass of green spells.
Yep.
So,
For sure.
and right now I'm all in on the main board 8 cantrips. So that right there takes 16% of my deck out of the green
That's
spells.
a sleight of hands and
Sleight of
the
hands and
Serum
Serum Visions, yep.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I know. I've seen a few different builds. I know I watched a couple where they were playing like Samut Sprint in the deck and things like that. So you
Actually,
haste your.
I do have something that they're not playing, and this one
Oh, yeah?
actually has a little bit more. Like the Scry one is really good. I'll pull
Yeah.
it out for you here. It's a card that was released here in Horizons.
Oh yeah.
Here you go.
Oh yeah. Reckless Charge. Okay. Yeah. +3/+0, and then Flash Trigger 2. Okay. So
Yep.
you're getting a little bit extra damage through that way, rather than the Scry essentially.
Yep.
Is that what it's for?
Yep.
Yeah.
The game I won my round 1 opponent. Game 2 I Reckless Raged the Gristlebrand to play around a Path to Exile. And because I did that and went to the attack phase, I had an additional draw 7 that I could get further deeper into the deck, and I hit the Pact of Negation to deal with it.
Yeah.
So that was, the card's real fantastic. And the flashback doesn't really come up often, but if a game goes deep enough and your opponent's not on a control deck, the flashback can come up, and you can just hit them with, if you Neoform to Gristlebrand, it's going to be 11. If you Eldritch Evolution, it's going to be 10.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is still, that's half their life total right there.
Yep.
Which could be a really quick, if somebody like fetch shocks, you're playing like Jund or something like that, and they go fetch shock right away or burn or whatever it would be. And you're just like, all right, yeah, hit me with my 10 power guy, and you're dead next turn.
Right.
Like if you haven't pacted for it. Which makes that a really it makes some of those games really interesting. There are so many ways to win with that deck. It's not just combo draw my deck all the time.
Yep. Nope.
You can beat down with an Allosaurus Rider across like 6 different turns.
Sometimes you come up in situations where the beatdown Allosaurus Rider plan actually happens, where you draw a bunch of cards with it, and you just don't have the ability to continue, but you can just play 2 or 3 Allosaurus Riders. All of a sudden, you got an army of 4/4s in this Gristlebrand coming at you.
Yeah.
Like, are you gonna beat this? Probably not.
Well, it's like it's like it's like you're playing Hogak. You're just like, oh, let's put 20 power in play. That's all right. I'll just put 20 power in play, and we're not gonna combo kill you, but we're just gonna kill you in the next 2 turns if you can't deal with
You're
this board.
gonna die most likely.
Yeah. Well, it was awesome games, man. I'm glad you came out and we're willing to go on stream and play it.
Awesome.
Sweet.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
All right. Thanks.
All right.
Ed.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Any more games? Let me see. I don't know. We'll see if we have anyone out there. I think we're probably close to the end of the round.
Like 15 minutes left.
I think 15. Yeah. So it looks like we're probably going to take a break now, and then we'll come back with the next round. And yeah, I'll let Jerry know if he didn't see that Rob's watching. I'll let him know. Alrighty. So yeah, we'll take a break and we'll be back for round 3.
All right, guys, welcome back. This will be round 3 featuring. We have Justin on Burn and we have Stefan on Blue-White Control. Well, it's a really good start right off the bat for Burn.
Yeah, Tournament Goblin Guide is the probably the best start in the game for Burn. Looks like he's got a solid hand too. He has a second land to make. He's got double helix Skullcrack, I believe, and
Yeah.
a bolt and a skewer.
He just picked up a skewer, so.
You'll probably see him dump 2 spells out here.
And that's the one card I don't know in Blue-White. What's the new Modern Horizon card that Blue-White is playing?
Oh, I believe it might be the 2-mana Exile. It's essentially the 2-mana Path, but you can overload
Okay.
it for 6. I believe 6 total, I believe is the overload cost.
Okay.
I believe that's the card. I'm not 100% sure, though. I know that's a card, at least. I don't know if that's that specifically.
So what is he taking? He's taking 4. He's taking 10 already?
Yep. Looks like Stefan's going to be at 10, going to 9 off this fetch. Which could be a quick game. I mean, Justin's going to only be able to cast 1 spell next turn, so if that Goblin Guide gets killed, then it's going to be essentially like a 2 or 3 turn clock here to kill him due to having all 2-mana spells in him right now. The nice thing, though, for Justin is that they're all instants in his hand. We got rid of the 1 sorcery.
Yeah.
So he's able to just jam these on Stefan's turn.
So there's another Mystic Gate. Let's see what he's
Yep.
gonna.
So
yeah.
that is the path.
Yep.
So it's essentially a 2-mana path is all it is. It is a sorcery, I believe, though. So this is kind of awkward because he gets to grab a land. So if Justin rips a land at the top, he's gonna put Stefan to 3 right now. So I think he probably should just take this opportunity and just double helix him.
Yep.
And then you hold the Skullcrack in case, so you main deck Timely or something like that.
Oh, that's a good draw.
Boros
though,
Charm's
still.
not bad either. Let me see.
He's just gonna play on his turn at this
Yeah,
point.
it doesn't change the clock at all. I guess you just throw the Boros Charm in case you draw a creature.
Yep.
Yeah, Boros Charm, you put you to 5. Because then if he draws a creature, any of his creatures actually, between Swift Spear or Goblin Guide, it'll be lethal with the Helix in hand or Skullcrack.
Yep. So all he needs at this point. He's gonna be sitting down. Well, that's the
another-
lightning bolt. No, that was the. That's
Is that a
the,
Firecraft?
Yeah, that's the extinguish. The one.
Exquisite.
that's-
No,
yeah,
it's Exquisite
Exquisite,
Firecraft.
yeah. So that's the one that's.
Wow,
not
4 to the
counterable.
dome, uncounterable. Because he has Spellmaster, right? It's only 3 spells you need?
Yep.
Wow, that's brutal.
So he's just gonna try to respond
Just
by opting
find
it.
something.
because he can't counter it.
Yeah, the veto in hand looks real awkward.
That's really nice
4
that
damage.
Justin puts that in the main.
Yeah, that's
I
a
know
that's a
it
really
comes out
interesting-
of a board a lot of burn.
Yep. Yeah, so I think right now, if Justin draws like any land, the game's just over, because I believe that Stefan only has veto to counter. So there's the
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
So as long as he
Yep,
fetch,
there it is,
he should upkeep it. You should upkeep this.
which is fine because what he's gonna do.
Well, because the problem is if he had, let's say, double veto right now, he's tapping on Justin's turn. So Justin should wait for Stefan's upkeep and cast both of these then, because then Stefan's tapped out. He untaps, he casts the last Helix
Yep.
and kills him.
I think Justin is at this point just gonna do it just because he's gonna be like, all right, you know what? Let's take a chance and
And
see
a
what he has. in there."
Planes. Oh, this is interesting.
Oh, Justin with the heavy mixes up for the burn. I love it.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, Rob. I know it's probably gone by now. Just messaging on there. Okay, and just scooping it up now. Yeah, I think definitely though you gotta
Yeah.
upkeep that for next time, Justin. If you're gonna look back and watch this, cast that in his upkeep. That way, if he does have double counterspell, he can't untap and then cryptic you on the next turn when you can untap and cast your last Helix.
Yeah.
So it looks like Justin's got Searing Blood, Rest in Peace, Skullcrack's got to be coming in, Wear Tear potentially if he thinks there's some kind of Burn Halo or Ley Lines or something like that potentially. Surgical I think is potentially reasonable depending on how many dead cards.
So I see Surgical coming in automatically off a burn, just because if one of Justin's spells gets veto, he can easily just get rid of it, and it's really high favored.
Yeah, it gets rid of veto and also just gives you information, which is great
But
too.
one thing, because burn is my pet deck. I love playing burn when I'm really like I'm down in the dumps where I'm just not having fun with the other decks I build, and I just always bring out Burn.
You just
So
want
I'm
to
really
kill
good.
people. You just want to kill them
I
quick.
want to count to 7. That's really what it comes down to. I want to count to 7. But for Justin, the issue with Burn that I've always noticed, he didn't see anything that game. So
Yep.
he really doesn't know what's going on. So he doesn't know what Stefan has. And we know by looking at it, Stefan had the package of the Gideons in the main deck and everything. So it really comes down to what Stefan's going to bring in. Looking at Stefan's,
Yep. I
he's
think
going
they
to bring in the
Timely,
Baneslayer.
Timely and Baneslayer. I think the spell is fine and the veto's okay.
Yeah.
Potentially Purge. I think Purge is definitely better than the 2-mana Path. So those are going to be coming out, I think, in favor of Purge in case you get hit by something like Blood Moon or whatever.
Yeah, he's just going to
Yep.
really what he's just going to do is he's going to whittle down all the dead cards at this
Yep.
point.
I think the Geist-Insane Draft is actually something you want in this matchup because it's a quick clock and you
Yeah.
can't let the game go long.
Well, it's
So-
also what's even better with the Geist is so people don't realize that Angel, when you swing in, it's a 4/4. Burn really can't get to that Angel, so they
No.
have to. They just sit there and take the
Yep.
beating.
Yeah, they have no answer for either Geist other than just blocking
Which
with a Goblin Guide.
Which looks like he's not going to bring the Geist in. It looks like he was bringing in the Baneslayer.
Yep. Which it depends also on his main deck build. If he has enough like ways to just force through damage or kill quickly, if he has like multiple Gideons, like I don't know if he's running the new Gideon, but he's running the new 3-mana Gideon.
Yep.
That's a way you can kill very quickly. So I could see, saying not to bring those in. I think that you want to get some of the sorcery speed removal out, like things like the Tension Sphere. I don't think is very good in this matchup.
No. But did you see the one card? He is running one Blast Zone. I don't know if that.
Yep, that's normally the 25th or 26th land.
That's really nice for Blue White to play actually Blast Zone now. I really like that.
Yep. It gives you an out to a lot of just problem cards. Like somebody just like drops, any 1-mana card that's like real awkward for you to deal with, like Grafdigger's Cage and something like Whir, something like Thopter Foundry, which we don't have an answer for, other than countering on the way down or bouncing with Cryptic Command or maybe 3-mana Teferi. It gives you just a catch-all to just deal with anything, which is great. It's also a way to deal with Planeswalkers, which Blue-White is notorious for having 0 answers for. That's like the one thing the Blue-White can't beat. You're dropping Renin 6? Great. My Path Exiles look very good, and I run no bolts in my deck, so I think it's going to stay until Ultimate.
Factor Fiction, Veto, Forced Negation, Force.
Yep, this actually seems like a good... Oh, maybe not. I mean, he might have been missing lands. So that looks like a good hand, though, if you had the lands, just because double Counterspell and like the free Counterspell is nice as well.
Well, Justin got rid of his too. I think Justin only saw one lander.
Yep. So looks like we're throwing them both back. Yeah, that game he did draw pretty hot. I mean, he was kind of glutted up on a lot of 2-mana spells, but that path helped him kind of ramp to casting two in one turn, which let him get there. Which is also kind of one thing that's kind of awkward about Blue-White specifically is that every removal spell generally that you have ramps your opponent.
Yeah.
So if somebody like Burn, it's really awkward because they only run like 17 lands in the deck. So you're just thing their deck out, and you're letting them cast all their 2-mana spells, 1 turn earlier essentially.
Yeah. Plus with Burn used to play so many fetches, and now they don't have to play that many fetches now. They have the Sunbait Cannon,
Yeah,
which
they
is
draw
amazing
lands.
now for Burn. It's like, sure, I'm missing. I just drew this. I'm gonna get rid of it.
Yep. Yeah, it's fantastic. Yep, so we'll see if they do better on their 7 going down to 6. So Justin, he's got 2 lands there at least. That actually looks like a very good hand. They'll put another land. Looks like he's got 3 lands, so he's putting 2 to the bottom, or 1 to the bottom.
Ooh, that's
He's
rough.
got-
That
he's
one's
got
got to
Twister.
go back for him. He only has 1 land. He has an opt. Maybe unless he wants to keep, but it's.
Does he? Oh, is that a?
It looks like a colonnade, the buy box, or the media promo what they used to be.
Oh, is that at the very bottom?
Yeah, so-
yep. He's got to send it back.
I think it was a different land than a colonnade, and you can possibly keep with the opt, but still, just go get your.
Yeah, I think it was double opt, wasn't it? I think it had 2. Yeah, so if you have like an untapped land, you can try it, especially on the play.
Yeah.
Being able to opt twice, you see essentially 4 extra cards, in order to get there.
Like right
So
there,
this
that's
is looking
already a
better.
keep right there.
Yeah, this is looking a lot better. I think the Cryptic gets tossed back. Mostly, is that a snap? I believe.
So it's veto, land. It looks like the bottom one's the path.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
path.
so
I believe
the
that's
Cryptic.
I believe the snap is like that 5th card in there. No,
Don't
don't
get rid of that
no,
one.
no.
Don't.
Yeah, you can't get rid of the
There
veto.
it is.
Yeah, Yeah,
You
it's
don't,
like,
Field of Ruin you can actually just get rid of in this matchup. It really doesn't
Yeah.
do much.
well, it's a lot of times they might just have forest. Like it might actually just be a dead card. Or sorry, not forest, mountain. So
Yeah.
jeez, that's bad.
Well, we know he plays
Yeah.
a plane, so he's playing one extra basic than every other burn deck.
Yep.
So that's why I look at it that's just being a
Yep.
dead card at this moment.
Yep.
Sure.
That's totally fine.
Yep.
Perfect. It ramps a little bit, but I'm definitely going to save in damage. It's also great because Stefan does not have any fetches or shocks, so he's not
Yep.
taking any damage off his own lands.
So that's a bad draw right there. If that was a Baneslayer and he's only on 2.
Yeah, he needs to
That
draw
was a little too
multiple
early.
lands. I can't tell if is that click or is that snap in his hand?
That's a snap.
That is a snap. Okay.
That is a Innistrad foil
Okay, that's why it looks kind of dark.
because it looks like a Mega Man. You can see.
Yeah,
And there's that
yep.
Sunbake can that we talked about,
Yep.
which is really good. Ooh, he has a surgical in hand as well.
I'm actually a fan of going after the path and draw step with that surgical because it means your creature draws are live, and if it eats a veto, that's even better because then it's a veto's not tagging your bolt or helix.
Like I said, the right in between sideboard and me being on burn, I usually aimed my surgicals at veto when I'm playing control.
Yeah,
I think that's what Justin is actually going to probably
Sure.
be thinking about right now.
The other thing too though is that you don't know how many vetoes he's running. Most of us are only running 2. I'd rather snag the 4 path and make sure your creatures are living.
So there's the bolt.
So now that he sees veto at least,
This
maybe you
is-
snag it now.
Yep.
And
see?
this is not something you wait till
right
draw
there.
step.
Nope.
Yeah,
Right
surgical
there,
veto.
perfect. And look at he just rips
And-
his hand.
Yep, and then caught one in hand too.
There it is.
Yep.
So we know more than likely Stefan had at least 2 in the main, and he had 1 in his board.
Yep.
So let's really see. So there was the timely that he was going to bring in.
So Purge did come in. There's a Gideon.
And all this is right now for Justin as well as
Force
this
Negation,
info.
Getting all the information. I think it's interesting. I think he left in a lot of Narsets. I think I saw 2 or 3 Narsets
Yeah.
in the deck, which
I even
I-
saw
I-
Detention Sphere still left in, which I don't think.
yeah.
I think that should have been something that should have came out as well, though.
Yep. Yeah, I think Detention Sphere would be one of my first cuts most likely because the rest of your deck is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there you see, you only had the 2 vetoes. Granted, he did get one out of hand, so it ended up paying off a lot there.
Yeah.
But yeah, in general, I mean, granted, I don't play burn a ton, but I play a lot of Phoenix, and I tend to always want to point my surgicals at their 4-ofs. And obviously, creatures are much more important in the Phoenix matchup, so Path is like the go-to.
Yep.
But even something like if I'm looking at like Path versus like something like Cryptic, which is huge in the matchup too, I normally just take the Path, just because it's a guaranteed 4-of
Yeah.
that you're going to catch. There's a much larger chance you catch one out of hand.
So Justin will take 1 off the cannon for the
Then
charm.
Opt is actually a great draw
Yeah,
here.
that's
I mean,
Opt.
it's just as good as a land basically.
At this point, he needs to start ripping lands, though.
Yeah. Wonder if that's another
So he just drew it straight.
timely.
So
Yep,
he
I
needs
was gonna
a
say
land, though.
Timely is the only card there where he could be thinking about whether or not he wanted to keep.
He only had 1 timely in the sideboard. Was that?
Yeah, he might have one main deck though. So
Ooh,
I'm
so
not
Justin
sure.
just drew another land, though.
Yep.
But that's fine. That land is another cannon, so he can get a land right here, and then
Yep.
timely is gonna be really good. Oh,
Force negation.
that's not a bad draw either.
Yeah,
right now.
I mean you can just pitch it to your snap. Unfortunately, well, okay, he's not gonna go for the helix now. Gonna draw.
No, I think Justin was just trying to rebuild the hand at this point, which charm is really good, so he can do charm.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't even see him
Common
draw the
guide.
guide.
So I wonder if you just ambush Viper that thing. That's a Hallowed Fountain.
No,
Or is
that
a
was the Colonnade.
That's a Colonnade. I wonder. Do you think you just flash the snap it and block?
No,
Or I think it's you have the timely. I guess you're right.
yeah, because another colonnade, bad land off of it. Because really, what can happen is next turn he can do his timely, and he
Yeah.
can snap it back if he can get
No,
enough
you
land.
can't do it. You can't do it.
No,
Don't try it. Yep. Okay. I thought he was going to try to pitch it. You can't do that on your turn. Well, that's going to be lethal this turn if he tries to go for it. It's actually really awkward though because the skewer sorcery speed, so he has to go for it.
yep.
Now, oh,
So
no.
there's the
Okay, so he's
basically-
not going to take it. So he's going to ambush it. So go to box, block. Yeah, I guess keeping it at 7 means you're dead to just Boros, Charm, Bolt. In which
Mhm.
case, the Helix is.
Yeah, so there's the helix.
Helix, and he's going to just cast a skewer at him. I think he puts him to 1.
Yeah, but he does have the timely in hand,
Yep.
though.
Timely goes back up to 7. He does not have another blue card, unfortunately, to pitch to the. Although, which Gideon is that? Is that the Gideon with the you cannot lose the game ultimate?
That is the getting of trials, I believe. Yeah.
Okay. Because I don't know the. Okay, so he just ults it right away.
Yeah, because I believe that
Which-
was like the San Diego
yeah.
Comic-Con edition. He has some really nice foils in there.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like that Comic Con foil. You can see it's foiled differently than most of the other
Yep.
cards are. Yep. So I think that is the ultimate. As long as you control a Gideon Planeswalker, you cannot lose the game. I can't remember. Can your life total go below 1 with that or no?
I believe it can.
So they can put you in the negative, and then they can just kill the walker. Logic Knot would be really good here if he had a 5th land. So you get Timely with Knot back up. But I think you just have to cast the Timely
Yeah.
and then hold the Force up on his turn.
Which is timely right there is really good. It really puts Justin hard because now Justin's with no hands going up to 7.
Yeah. The unfortunate thing, though, is that he doesn't have... Yeah.
Sure.
Is that he didn't have a creature out, so he didn't get 3 1/1s out of it, which is kind of annoying.
There's an island, so he's just going to throw down the Slayer.
Yep, and this might
This could just,
just
be
end the game here.
This could just be a concede.
But,
No, Justin's going to keep drawing, but anything right now is
yeah.
too small for that.
Stefan, I believe, should be at 6 right now. He gained 6.
He
life
should be
up
at
to 7.
7. Oh, no,
no,
he
he got
should
hit-
be.
he got hit
did
for
get
1,
hit
right?
with this website.
So he's
He
at
should
6
be at
up to
6, yeah.
11 now. Now he's up to 11, I believe. And this game's over now because he has a Logic Knot and Force available. So this is... Oh, another Timely. This game's well over now.
So
He's up to
this is
17.
exactly why you don't pick up your cards, even when you know you're just getting.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. He's at 17 right now. Yeah, this is now over in the other direction.
Yeah, Stefan just played to his
Yeah.
outs, and look at that.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I don't even think you do that, Justin. I just think at this point,
Purge, too. Oh,
we
my
did
gosh.
bring in the purges as well.
It's just better than the 2-mana path, so I
Yeah.
definitely see bringing it in. I think it's a straight swap. That makes sense to me completely. I think that's totally reasonable. Trading off all 3 tokens. Gets rid of the Goblin Guide. You get to purge the Swift Spear here. Beat in for 5. Yeah, Stefan's going to 22. I believe that's a second or third hit with it.
That's
So I
a
think-
third.
Yeah, so I think Justin's at like 4 now. Yeah, they're packing
Yeah.
it in. Yep.
So I don't see any changes from Stefan's deck.
Yeah, Justin could potentially bring in Path now that he saw Baneslayer come in. So consideration at least. Skullcrack. Oh, Skullcrack should
Skullcrack.
have been coming in already. Kind
Oh,
of surprised.
remember he had him in the.
Yeah, he had some of them were in the main deck. Those definitely should have been staying in. Just because you know that time was
Yeah.
coming in.
Even if I don't know what his thought was behind that. Maybe his thought was, does he play the Lyra out of the board or the Baneslayer? I think regardless, blue-white is automatically going to play one of the two.
Yep. I think for me, I think Lightning Helix is one that you should trim in this matchup. I
Yep.
know you play more Burn, but I think Helix is just your worst. It's
I
a 2
think-
mana. It's Lightning Strike
Yeah,
essentially.
it's really at this point you're paying 2 mana for a bolt. I guess you
Yeah.
get to gain 3 life, but at
But the
this
life
point you
total-
don't really matter about
Yeah,
your
it
life
does not
total at this
matter.
point.
Yeah. Which it really is just Lightning Strike in this
Yep.
matchup. Which
Yeah,
I'd rather be
so-
playing Boros Charm. Skullcrack has more of a text box, so I think that that's most likely what you'd be looking for.
I've noticed a lot of burn players are keeping the lightning helixes in due to the cannon.
Did he just
But
cut
I
an Eidolon? I think he just cut an Eidolon too, which I think is a mistake. Eidolon, I think, is very good in this matchup.
See, I don't know Justin's exact list, but like my first thing automatically taken out at this point would be the helixes, and it probably would be one of the one or two of the skewers.
Yep.
Because I don't want to be playing on my turn. I'd rather be playing
Yep.
on his turn up until when he plays that Teferi.
The other problem with Skewer too is that there are times where it may just be a 3 mana
Yeah,
burn
even
spell.
like see, that's another deck card in this deck that should have been out already was the Searing Blaze. That should already been taken out because you know
Yep.
he doesn't play Willow Creature Dwellers and Snapcaster.
Yep, and Snapcaster Mage is usually just getting snapped into block. or
Even
it's
if
timely.
Justin wants to go wide, he can bring in a Deflecting Palm and maybe throw off the Slayer. But that's still going way too far
It's
wide.
still just net 0 though, so I'm not a fan of that. I'd rather just bring the paths in if you're gonna do that.
Well, Deflecting Palm, what it reads is it basically you don't take a
Does
hit.
it prevent damage? and
It
then
prevents
hits
the
five?
damage, and then it does whatever they were going to deal to you.
So the lifelink won't happen
Yeah,
then.
so lifelink
Okay.
would not happen because
Okay.
it does prevent. So that's a big, nice swing.
Yep.
But all Justin really needs is a really strong, heavy opening hand, and he can pretty much just take over. But wow, path.
I think that's
That's a keep.
yeah, that's a keep. You just hope that he's on the creature plane rather than burn, but it looks like he's on the mono burn draw right now. Oh, that's the Goblin Guide. Okay.
Yep.
So it looks like Justin has a Goblin Guide into all burn spells though.
Yeah, so which is fine though, because Stefan's gonna get another look at his top card basically off a trigger.
Yep.
And then he's just gonna next turn he's just gonna path it anyway, so he's fine.
Yep.
Opt is really good too.
Yep. Opt is fine. You want to find that 4th land as quick as possible for the Cryptic in your hand. And
Yep.
you're going to get one more trigger off the Goblin Guide, which is nice.
Yep. Lava Spike.
That's a great draw. Blast Zone is actually not bad. Blast Zone on 1 in this matchup is actually just relevant because like every creature in the deck is essentially one drop other than Eidolon.
Something I didn't know about Justin's, I really hope he does play at least one of it, is Grim Lavamancer.
Yep, the card's very good. It should be at least a 1-of main deck, in my opinion. It's very good in any of the creature-based matchups, and this matchup is good just because it's a repeatable source of damage.
Yeah, I get a lot of people can board it out and everything, but it's really good to have it in the list at some point, even if you have it in somewhere.
Yep.
So
I
Lava
think it's
Spike,
yeah, double spike him here while he knows the
So he's
result.
going to take 6.
Yep, so Stefan's going to be going to 12 here. Justin fetched shocked, I believe. He fetched and then fetched shocked, so he should be at 16 here now.
Yep.
So that's that colonnade.
It's not what Justin wants to be drawn, though, his land at this point, which...
He should be casting this on his opponent's turn, even though he only has white mana up. I'd rather... I guess maybe he just knows it's going to resolve now, so that's okay, but... What's that last card? Does he have a path?
And who its hands? Justin's?
Justin, he has a white card, I think.
It looks like a path, which kind of is not great for him right now because it's just going to be a dead card. Yeah, sure. Go search. Search for another mountain, or if he's going to bring in
I would
another.
just grab another tap land probably here. You want to make sure you have a white source.
Yeah.
In case you draw running Boros Charms or something like that.
So Stefan still has a Detention Sphere, an Opt, a Cryptic, and a Path, and a few lands just sitting over there. So
Yeah, he's at 6, but I actually really like his position now.
Yep.
The Firecraft is a big draw, though. So this is interesting. I'm almost wondering if you want to cast it now, or if you want to hold the Firecraft and wait until you can chain some spells on his opponent's turn. Okay. Or you just put
so
him
he
to
just
2 now.
wants because he knows he can't counter it regardless. But I think
Yep.
he's just like, all right, I'm just gonna throw it out here.
Yep. Yeah, so the argument to holding it there is potentially your opponent somewhat slips up or allows himself to go to 4,
Yep.
either for like a fetch land or something like that, or he plays a shock in order to like to hold Cryptic up, and then you can just Firecraft them and the game's over.
So down to 2.
Yep.
Justin's pretty much playing off the top.
Needs a timely right now.
Stefan at this point needs to play either that Plains or that.
He needs a blue source.
Yeah,
really,
which he doesn't
unfortunately.
have. So unfortunately, if Justin would get another burn off the top, if he rip one, this could just do it.
Is that a Narset at the bottom?
It looks like a Jace.
Okay. So if it's a Narset, I mean, I would almost consider just playing it here and then trying to find a force negation because I think he has no other answer to a. Oh, it is a Jace.
So he's just
Okay.
gonna storm.
Yeah, I think you have to
Which-
brainstorm and hope that you draw the force negation because, I mean, Justin's not playing on his turn anyways, or he wouldn't be. He'd be casting on your turn.
Yep.
And the difference is.
Oh, so that's even a good 2. He did Fate Seal basically. So he obviously he kept it on top, so he
Okay.
knows it's a land.
Yep.
More than
Or a
likely,
path. Oh, rest in. Oh, wow.
which is
Rip is interesting. I'd rather have Lavamancer.
I don't know why would you bring in Rest in Peace in this matchup. I guess you
Logic,
want to cut off.
Logic not, and I say Logic not.
I guess you want
and
to cut the 2
Snapcaster.
cards off, but I
Yeah.
think you're just wasting a spot right there, honestly, though.
Yeah.
Unless he's just really trying to get rid of dead cards like Searing Blaze and everything.
Man, so he's really hoping to find a blue source here, but it looks like he did not find an untapped blue source. Oh, unless that's a Mystic Gate. No, it looks a Colonnade.
Yep.
So I think there's a window here. If he draws a bolt,
All he needs is a bolt, and
which
it's over.
it's just awkward because he needs to cast it.
Oh,
Oh no,
that's a charm.
and
So
the thing is, he needs to cast it on his turn, which is so awkward because this you never. Oh, now he has Cryptic up. If he upkeeps it, this is like so awkward now. This is
Which
like
is
the one
fine.
spot. Yeah, which is
what
totally
Justin's
fine.
gonna do is he's just gonna hold it up and he's gonna try to play it on his next turn. But
Yeah.
if he tries to throw it out here, I think that was a big little punt right
Well,
there.
The thing is weird is that like the Fate Seal makes this so awkward because he can start Fate Sealing you and just hopefully getting lands into Stefan's hopefully getting lands in his hand.
Yeah.
And then the Cryptic is just stays up and you only have one spell in hand.
So
We'll see how this goes here. So you go, yep. So he might just try to accumulate a bunch. That looks like
is that
another path. Yeah, so he's trying more dead cards here.
So just sit on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
there.
And he has to sit until he has like 3 burn spells in hand. Just go for it all in one turn
Which
or wait
thing-
till he taps out.
Which thing I would give Justin a lot of prop for. As young as Justin is, Justin's is really he's really a good Magic player. He knows really what's going on.
Yep, so this is interesting because I believe he just drew Gideon. And he could have Gideon and Cryptic up this turn, I believe. Which I think he just, he gave him another land. So he could have Gideon and Cryptic up if he'd like to. Although he's close to ultimating Jace right now, actually, which I think he just keeps going until it's ultimate.
Well, you automatically keep doing that just because you're gonna cut him off of his burn. Which
Boros Charm again on the bottom.
was that a charm or was that a bolt?
I believe it was a blue. It was either a Boros Charm or a Helix that he put on the bottom.
Okay.
I believe it was a multicolored spell.
So I hope Justin doesn't go back and look at this video to watch it, because he's gonna realize that he had his window and he just didn't.
Well, this is actually not bad. He can try to spike him here.
Yep. So
And if he
could-
taps out for Cryptic, which I believe he has to.
Yep. So he's obviously
Unless he
gonna
has
do it.
another. Oh wait, does he have another?
He has that charm still in hand too. Oh.
What is that?
So that is the Blessed Alliance. So what he's going to do is he's going to gain 4 life right here. I don't know what other mode he's going to choose, but I think at this point he's just going to do the gain 4.
Yeah, well, there's no other
So
relevant
there's
mode right
nothing
now.
else going on. So he's going to gain the 4, which is going to put him to 6. He's going to take the spike. So in response, he's going to play the charm, but he's still going to
then
get
gets
Cryptic
Cryptic.
Command.
Yeah,
So he's still at bolt range next turn, though.
and he goes counter draw.
Yep.
Yeah, the Jace is gonna plus one more time, and then we have an ultimate though.
Yep.
So,
So
he's
as long
gonna
as
gain
Stefan
4,
doesn't
go
get
to
another
6.
counter, though,
Yep.
it's...
So he's gonna gain 4, go to 6, then go down to 3.
Yep.
He has another Cryptic in hand though. Stefan has like 3 Cryptics in hand right now.
I
Or
don't
he
think
has
I
one.
didn't think he did.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah.
So he has one more Cryptic.
Yeah, which is all he needs because
Yep.
the Jace plus and then Jace ultimate's next turn, and then the game's over.
So he's gonna Fate Seal again. Obviously, it's gonna be a burn spell. He's gonna put it on the bottom, but it don't matter at this point.
Firecraft is the only draw actually. If he has multiple Firecrafts.
Yep.
No, never mind.
Well,
That's it.
it really puts it out because time right there. So he's gonna gain another 6. He's gonna go to 9.
So actually, he could Firecraft Jace, so he doesn't just lose. But I don't know what the draws after that are going to be for Justin to get out of this.
Another
Boros
charm.
There's like no good time to cast this now
No.
because he's well out of range, and you can Boros Charm Jace, which may just be what he tries to do. Might upkeep the Boros Charm, and yeah, those paths and the Rest in Peace. Like if they were just other burn spells or Eidolons,
Yeah.
that would most likely. get
Yeah. So
better.
he's obviously gonna do the ultimate on Jace. He's showing him what it is. He's gonna in response charm, but little does he know, it's just gonna get Cryptic Command. Which I don't even think. Do you even do this at this point? Because you know you're at 9. Because you're technically gaining the 6 off timely.
Yeah. I mean, I think you just say, fine, take the Boros Charm, go to 5. What do you have?
Yeah, because you know one of the cards in his hand was something that you gave him. You know
Yeah.
you let him have that last path.
So it exiles the entire deck, and,
and then you just say path.
2 paths, and that's the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he actually knows either of the cards. I believe he just gave him the land that he already
No,
played.
he did give him one of the paths. He did
Oh, he
give
did?
him one
Okay.
path because he was like, well, this is obviously dead against you. So he's like, yeah, you can have that.
Okay.
He did Fate see him the one with the path. So he knew the one.
Justin's going to keep playing, man, though. He's like, Fate's on the 1 card. Oh, it's a path. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is game.
He's just going to say, draw, go. I'm going to play a land just to be safe. And
Okay.
so there it is. So blue-white. Do we want to get another match in here? I know we had a backup match. I don't know if they're done or
Yeah,
not.
no, he said that he Yeah, Dan said that they already finished. He beat Jacob in 2. I'm not sure if they were looking at somebody else out there.
So I wonder, do we have the match that we were looking at? Are they still playing?
Yeah, let me go see if there's anybody out here. Let me go check.
So we have some nice decks in the building tonight. It looks really solid as a big turnout. We have a few players that are playing Tron. We have a few players that are playing some Burn. We have a Phoenix player. We have a lot of different decks tonight. So we're trying to bring you anything and everything possible to show you how this London Mulligan and everything that's going on. But from then, we're trying to make sure we always have a backup match for you guys. We don't want no downtime and everything like that. So we're trying to get you guys as much magic as much as possible for you guys being with us tonight. So I believe we are doing. So we do have, unfortunately, like I said, this is fast rounds tonight. So unfortunately, they are all done. So we will bring you the next round shortly, and it'll be round 4.
Yep, probably in about 15, 20 minutes or so.
Alrighty, see you guys then. All right, how you guys doing? Welcome back. Round 4 featuring Mike Hamlin with Mono Green and Sam Henderzak with Humans.
Yep, and this is not Mono Green Tron. This is Mono Green. As you can see, the pelt collector that starts it off.
I don't know how many times I've watched the stream and everything when I'm not here. And I'm like, oh, Mono Green, that's an easy matchup for anybody. But this deck really does surprise a lot of people.
The thing is, like, it hits so hard, and the creature's so big. Like, the thing with humans is obviously, like, the creature-based deck.
Yeah.
Just because the amount of interaction you get with anything everyone is doing. You have the stuff like Thalia, so you're really good against any of the non-creature spell-type decks. As you can see right here.
Yeah.
You also have just Reflector Mage that just, like, destroys your opponent's
Exactly.
creatures. Like, if you're, like, tap out for my, 3-mana Steely Champion, which I think Mike is about to if he has a third land in hand. If you get Reflector Mage, that's like Time Walk, but
Yep.
you also get a 2/3. Like, that card's so
he
good.
plays at Treetop Village. He's
Okay.
going to attack with the little Strangle Root Geist.
It's kind of interesting. I wonder if he's... And there's not really much he's repping here. It's only a 2/2, I believe, correct?
Yeah.
I guess he wants to... it's not Evolve. Was it Undying that's on it?
Undying, yep.
Yeah, he wants to get that extra counter on it, potentially.
But what does Sam has? He has the Mage. He
Is that
has
Hex Drinker? Oh, that's sweet.
Ooh.
Love that card.
I was just telling somebody out there I felt really salty. I had a foil and I sold it for 60, and now it's like a 130.
Oh, really?
Bad Magic finance right
Oh my
there.
What's the regular one at?
Like 25 now.
Is it really?
Yeah, when it was like 5.
Oh, I sold mine for like 12, I think. Shoot.
So, X Drinker is one of the new cards out of Mine Horizons. It got a lot of hype when it got first spoiled. Everyone was talking about how it was going to be in Mono Green Tron and the sideboard. It was going to be in Jund. I guess on Moto it's showing up a little bit in some Jund decks now.
Yep. So Jund is like kind of its home, I think, because it's very good at late game. You look at it as like a 5-mana play.
Yep.
Play it, give it Pro Instant right away. And that's like almost unbeatable for a lot of
Yep.
people. And once you get it protection from everything, it's just an absolute beater. So it looks like Reflector Mage bounced the
Hex Drinker.
The Hex Drinker. We're just
So he's
talking
going
about,
to swing in with the Champion, which is a 3/3, and then he's going to attack in with the Thalia as well. Just remember that does have first
yeah.
strike.
Well, it can kill one of them, but the other one will stay.
So that was the right choice on which one to kill. That was a good choice.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that he chose to block there rather than block the champion.
Yeah, I
The
think
champion,
you have to block the Champion.
the champion's going to be the one growing bigger. Unless Mike has an answer to the champion, there's a chance he might have some type of answer for it. I believe it's just a Steel Leaf champion or a Steel Leaf champion in hand. Yeah, what's coming in now. But the thing with Steel Leaf though is that Thalia's not going to grow, and Steel Leaf can hit through the Thalia.
Yep.
It can't hit through the champion. And when the champion comes with 4-power creature, worst case, it can block.
So it's another land on Sam's side, another Horizon Canopy, which another Champion.
Yep. And grows that other champion to a 4-power. Then Phantasmal Image. on the
another
Reflector Mage. Yep. Gonna most likely hit that Steel Leaf champion. Yep.
Alright, so Mike's just in a bad spot right there. Yep, that's smart.
Yep. So this is not looking very good.
Just gonna swing in with a 5/5 and a 2/3.
Yep.
Yeah, you're gonna have to block there.
Yeah. So this is the thing is that I can't remember. Is that a Judge's Familiar? Is that what that is? Or
No, that is the
Oh,
Dried
Dryad.
Militant.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, all the instant sorceries go to exile to the graveyard.
So it really is not doing anything
Yeah,
for this
So
matchup.
yeah, that's why I was thinking you want to block the champion with it, and you don't have that many non-creature spells where Thalia actually matters in the matchup.
That's obviously a bad draw because obviously it's a land.
So actually, it's not bad. Hextrigger right now, if he grows it right now to a 4/4, it can block. It can block just about anything on the board. I believe it goes a 4/4. Obviously, pro instant, which doesn't matter in this matchup. But if you were to block the entire board of the massive champion there, is going to be relevant. And then once he gets up to, I believe it's an 8/8 with protection from everything, it can block that giant, the 5-power, soon to be growing champion, which is going to be next turn.
Well, it gets up to a 6/6.
Is it a 6/6?
It has to be on level 8.
Yes. Okay. Level 8 and it's 6/6. I mean, still with protection from the champion. It's still. Oh wow! I just drew another Phantasmal Image. So he's gonna copy that Reflector Mage and then bounce the Hextrigger. He's like, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Mike sees the writing on the walls now. This is gonna be a quick one, I think.
This is one of the reasons why I love humans. Humans can take over a game instantly like that, though.
Now the thing is, like, this is a kind of a situation where Sam drew the right half of his deck too. It could have been 3 Thalias instead of 3 Phantasmal Images, and those do nothing in this matchup.
Yeah. So Mike's just gonna
yeah.
scoop it up at that point. He knows it's a little too far. So what do you see out of Mike's deck that you would honestly bring in?
I have no idea what any of these cards are, so.
So we know what Relic is. We know.
Yeah.
So Thrun is a 4-drop. It can't be countered.
Okay.
Force of Vigor is one of the new cards out of Modern Horizons.
Yep.
Creep and Corrosion is basically you're going to bring in if you're going to go against any deck that's playing artifacts. Damping Sphere,
So none of those. Dismember's coming in for sure. I think Dismember's going to be great in this matchup.
the Collector, Oof or whatever.
So Oof is questionable because Oof shuts off Vile, which turns it into a fairer matchup. So obviously Dismember's coming in. Oof is the one that I would have a question about. I don't think you want Force of Vigor. It's far too thin, but at least Oof can trade with the creature.
Yeah, I don't see the Oof coming in, honestly. I just think it's just going to sit there. I think his best bet, honestly, is maybe just bringing in the Dismembers.
Yeah, and maybe Thrunner. What's Creeping Corrosion do?
So Creeper Corrosion is the one I've been telling you that was the destroy all
Artifacts and enchantments.
Yeah.
Is that one that you create beasts or something for every?
No.
Or just destroys all? It can't be regenerated.
Yeah, so it's just destroy all artifacts. It's a straight green.
Oh, so it's just Shatterstorm essentially in green. Okay, I see. Yeah, and then Thrun. I'm not sure if Thrun is relevant in this matchup.
No, it's not.
Okay, so most likely just Dismembers then, and then maybe some number of Oofs. But on Sam's side,
Static Caster, I don't see really coming in.
yeah, Direfleet Daredevil's bad. Mirran Crusader, it's pro green, right? Pro black and green.
Black. Is it black and green?
I think it's black and green. So Mirran Crusader's interesting.
I think American Crusader is interesting just because it has double strike.
Yeah. And Auriok Champion I think is fine. I mean, it's going to be a race, and both sides are playing a bunch of creatures, so Auriok Champion's going to get a lot of
American
triggers.
Crusader is double strike from protection from black and green, so I can see that coming in.
That's you're snapping that straight into your
I
into your
don't
deck.
see Sage coming in. I don't see
Nope.
Damping Sphere. I think really on his side, you can maybe bring in the one Direfleet, and you can maybe bring in the one of the Crusader. My question is,
Wouldn't Auriok Champion doesn't Auriok Champion gain you life for each creature enters?
No, because that's the one that
Or is
is
that
for
the-
burn. Auriok Champion.
I thought that was Auriok Champion. Maybe I'm wrong. See, I don't play humans. Yeah, Crusader is a fantastic card here. I don't play humans enough to know all the different humans.
Yeah, Auriok Champion is protection from black and red, and whenever another creature comes into play, gain 1 life. So
Yeah, so I think that could be relevant in this matchup because it's going to end up being a race, and both sides are playing a ton of creatures, since it triggers off of his opponents too. So I think I could see Auriok Champion, because you have a lot of cards to cut. The Thalias are all coming out, which is probably 3 of. So I think Mirran Crusader and 2 Auriok Champions would replace those.
Yep.
So I think that's probably the easy ins. If there's any other bad cards, I'm not sure what else is in Sam's list, main deck. I can see Static Caster potentially coming in because it can ping some of the X ones.
Okay.
That are in Mike's deck. Because I know Mike runs a handful. Obviously, there's a Hex Drinker. There's also the if he ends up like top decking one of the Pelt Collectors or the other 1 mana card that he played. There's quite a few 1-drops that are X1s. So I can see Static Caster potentially.
So looking at Sam's hand, it's
That was Freebird is also an awkward card too because there's not a lot of non-creatures. Obviously, Dismember comes in, so it's a good catch for it. But yeah, I mean, Sam's is a snap keep. He has a 1-drop into a 2-drop into Manus Rider.
yeah. So he can. Yeah, that's a really good hand.
And all of it's castable.
Unfortunately, Mike had to throw his back. I wonder if he's actually looking for something right off the bat.
Yeah, so Mike's on the play here, so he's probably just looking for any 1-drop into 2-drop to try to get the pace of the game on his side. That or a Dismember, some kind of interaction. If he has anything else, any other way to interact with creatures. Yeah, I think this is probably a really rough matchup for Mono Green, just because humans presents a clock, and they also have good interaction with Reflector Mage in this matchup. Looks like he's got 2 lands there. Looks like a Vines in hand too.
John Soros says he thought he saw a collector. Oof. I don't see one.
That's a Vines. It's the right there in the middle.
Yep.
What's this for? That might be an oof there. This first card.
And then the one on the
the
very
further right?
left is the green from Cons, which I believe is like the Absolute or something like that.
Strangler. No, that is the. What is that? It's not an oof. Crocevus? No. Maybe. Something troll. I don't know what this
That
is.
is the M20 Troll, where it comes in with a +1/+1 counter on it. And
Oh, is that plus
if it gets targeted, you can basically remove it and it gives it hexproof.
Huh. Interesting.
I can't think of
Oh,
his-
Avatar the Resolute. That's the other card that's there.
That's what
okay.
it was.
Yep. That's comes into play with a counter for each other creature you have with a counter on it. So in this case, it's going to come in as a 4/3, I believe, with reach. I believe it's already a 3/2 with reach, which is actually very relevant right now because of the freebooter that just came down. How big is the card from M20? Is it a 2/2 with a counter? Make it a 3/3?
It's a 2/2 with the counter, so it gets to be a 3/3.
Nice. So yeah, these are kind of perfectly sized for this board right now. With the 2/2 champion, you can play the Avatar here, which is going to come in. It's going to be a 4/3, and it'll be able to block that freebooter. Interesting. Thalia, I believe, stayed in. I think there's a Thalia that Sam just drew. And Mantis Rider's probably going to come down here, but Mantis Rider's also kind of awkward in this position because that Avatar can block it. It's not profitable because they're going to trade, but trading with the Mantis Rider I think is fine. Okay, so maybe Vile in the Meddling Mage, and I know that I believe... Oh, no, into Thalia. Yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah, so the M20 is called Barkhide Troll. So it enters the battlefield with +1/+1 counter. You can pay 1 and remove it, and it gains hexproof.
Okay.
So unfortunately, he does have to pay and remove it.
Yep. So it looks like he did trade the Avatar for the Champion of the Parish. Hextrick up the top. That's not bad. Get in with the Troll. So knock Sam down to, I believe, 14 now. I think it is interesting Thalia stayed in this matchup. I thought that would be one of the first cuts. I guess there's enough like X2s in the deck that Thalia could potentially block profitably. I think there's just better things that you could have going on them.
Yeah, I really wonder what he kept in. It did look like he did take out 1 Meddling Mage. I don't even know if that's the right thing. I
think I'd rather have Meddling Mage than Thalia.
Exactly.
Just because I think Meddling Mage can tax more. If you name Steel Leaf Champion or Dismember. If you name Dismember, there's no way he's going to kill your creatures, I'm assuming.
But we don't know for sure if Sam knew what he was playing. That was one of the biggest things.
Mm-hmm. So on land here, it goes the Hextrigger to a 4/4, which is nice. Or we're not sure what this is. He's writing it down.
So-
Steel Leaf, maybe?
Yep, Steel Leaf.
Yep.
Which is fine.
Yeah, and he knows there's one in hand already. He saw it off of the freebooter. And it looks like Thalia's a tenant. Oh, that's really good right here.
That's beautiful. So each one of his humans are going to get a +1/+1.
Yeah, and now everything can get turned sideways. Yep. I'm not sure what Mike's line out of this is. I'm assuming it's going to involve drawing a Dismember to dismember the freebooter, and then
Again, the other.
trying to, the problem is he's so far behind now, especially with a Thalia on board. That makes it real awkward, too. Thalia actually is turning out to be okay here just because he's missing land drops. Is that an oof? It might have been. No, it's Strangleroot, guys.
Strangleroot.
Geist is okay as a blocker here. I mean, it blocks everything on the other side, at least.
Yeah, it's going to be protecting some of that life total, but
I guess he just leveled up the Hex Drinker twice.
I still think he's in a bad spot because there's still. Did he draw another lieutenant? I believe he drew another lieutenant, which is just going to put this game out because all he has to do is put the Mantis Rider down,
Yep.
and then the Aether Vial. This is just going to get out of control right here. Yep. So
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be a quick one. And the Hex Drinker is still only a 2/1, I believe, because it has not leveled up to level 4 yet.
So he's representing that the Mantis is attacking in, so he is attacking in with everything right there.
Yeah, and I believe it's actually going to be lethal with the Viled in Thalia's Lieutenant, Right now he's facing 2 on the bottom. It's going to end up being 3, 4, 5,
Yeah.
6, 7.
So there is a vial on
plus another
2 that he did move off camera for a
4.
short minute.
11. That's actually 15 exactly. I believe that's going to be coming through.
Yeah, because it's going to be Mantis is going to go to a 4-4.
Yeah, it's 4
Mage
plus
is
another.
going up to a 4.
Yeah, so that's 8.
Freebooter's going up to a 3. Theo's going to go up
11.
to a 4. And then the other lieutenant is going to
As
go
long
up
as
to a 3.
oh no, he missed the trigger. He missed the trigger on Thalio's lieutenant on the bottom one. It should have gotten 2 counters. He only put 1 on there, I believe.
Yep.
So it's actually putting Mike to 1. Yeah, if Sam didn't miss that trigger, that was going to be 15 exact. If we have the life totals correct, he would have been dead this turn. I just don't think there's outs unless you have a green Anger of the Gods that can deal 6 damage to everything.
We have a lot of players here that like to just play to every line. And unfortunately, I think that board is just a little bit too scary for Mike.
Yeah, I think that he needed to not attack last turn and leave that 3/3 back to block. And I think playing the Strangler guy is going to be the correct play last turn as well. He's hitting for 3. Just get in there. Block a Mantis Rider.
Oh, he has a...
He's like, yeah, okay, that's game. Yep, all right, Mike's scooping it up here, I believe. Yeah, so that was a quick
That was a
one
quick
for
game,
humans.
so we're going to actually try to see
Yep.
if we can get somebody else on
Let me see if I can
on
grab
camera.
somebody.
Because that was unfortunately 20 minutes, less than 20 minutes for round 4. We are doing 5 rounds tonight, guys. That humans match was obviously really quick, so we did see what he did take in and what he did take out. We did have a backup match for a second. I don't know how far into a game that they were in, and that's really what it comes down to. I once again want to thank everybody for coming out into chat, watching. If you guys haven't subscribed or anything, make sure you guys hit that follow button on Twitch so you guys can get notifications and everything when we go live. We do go live Friday and Sundays. Friday is standard, and Sunday is modern. And if you also miss a stream or anything, we do post our videos over on our YouTube. Make sure you guys subscribe over there too. So Dan is out there right now looking for a next match. Yeah, so we do have a lot of players in games right now in match 1. So as soon as we do get another match, we will bring it right over to you. So there's nobody going into a game 2 or anything yet. But once that happens, we'll bring that over to you as soon as possible. I know going into this round, we did have an Elves player that was 3-0. We have a Tron player that's 2-1. Is there anything special that you guys would like to see? I think we're going to try to get the Elves player because he's on table 1 right now. Unfortunately, if we get the Elves player, he is going to be playing the blue-white player we had from the last round and the round prior. But unfortunately, Elves player I believe this is his first time with us on a Sunday in a while, so I'm really happy an Elves player came out. You guys live in the area and you guys are watching the stream. We are located in Lamont, Illinois. We do have a Facebook page. We run events every day of the week for almost everything possible. We run modern 3 times a week now. We run standard 3 times a week. Saturday we have board game nights. Tuesdays we do some Smash tournament. Wednesday, if you're into D&D, we do some D&D. This store isn't just for Magic or anything like that. We run almost anything possible, X-Wing to everything. So I know we are looking at a match right now. Dan is out there just trying to pull him. Excuse me, sorry. All right, looks like we're having a match walk over there now.
We got some taking turns.
All right, so we have a taking turns deck. Do you know what they're playing against? Oh, so Mark. Okay, so we have taking turns against Blue-White Spirits. So we know Mark is playing Blue-White Spirits. He is playing the new Spirit out of M20. Mark has been on the stream before. He's the player that has played Red-White Prison. He is a player that has played Mono-White Knights. So they are moving from where they've been sitting to the featured area right now. Let me see. And I believe they're only going to be in game 2. They just finished game 1. NEJAC. So they're sitting down right now. We're just grabbing their sideboards so we know what they're gonna be showing in the matchup. Overall, I think Spirits can go a little bit fast. They could go wide. I just think taking turns, if they have the right opening hand, I think taking turns can just go off.
It's Mark and Sean Carey. Sean's on blue white taking turns, and you see Mark's on the side closer to us.
Okay.
Then Sean's on blue white taking turns. Then yeah.
So blue white taking turns in Spirits, like we were saying, guys. I'm assuming blue white taking turns is favorite. Obviously, I don't know. Do you know
Yep.
who won game 1?
I don't know. Another 1-1 right now going into game
Okay, so
3.
that is a game 3 though.
Yep.
Okay.
So the one thing I think Blue White Spirits does have going for them is they have more permission in their deck than the Bant Spirits deck does. They do run Spell Quellers like Bant Spirits does, but they also run Thalia's main deck.
Okay.
They will have probably more counter spells coming out of the sideboard. I know they have Dovin's Vetoes in most cases. Granted, we don't have their sideboards, so we don't know how they boarded, but they do have generally more interaction than the Bant Spirits list does for a type of deck like Blue White turns.
So I was just giving Mark little feedback in between rounds, and he didn't want to be on stream because he always does not do well.
Oh, yeah. Just tell him to chill.
So
There you go. So most of Mark's on the play, so it looks like
that's
he
a great
won.
turn 1.
Looks like he won game 1 and lost game 2. So,
Okay.
yep. Vile looks very good right there. Is that periphery nodes? Is that what it is?
Yep, that is periphery nodes right
yeah,
there.
periphery nodes. Yep.
So he,
Let's see what's in Mark's hand. Oh yeah, he's playing some of the new cards out of Core 2020.
yes,
It's really cool. The new there's a new. Essentially, it's a spirit lord. It's a lord from
the
the
spirit
flyers.
bird, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a bird spirit or something like that. But it pumps all flyers.
Okay. Is he running the 1/1 spirit?
The hanged executioner.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. I'm assuming that might come out of this matchup because part of the text box on that is you sack it and destroy another you sack it to exile another target creature, and that's not really going to come up in this matchup. Maybe you want it as kind of some protection against the nodes
Yes.
that come out because you get a 1/1 out of it, so you can just sack the 1/1 or sack the executioner, and you're getting kind of a 2-for-1 out of that card.
Yeah, I think right now Mark is honestly really favored right now just because he has that Vial at 3. He has 2 Spell Quellers in hand.
Yep.
He doesn't go higher than that. He got it to where it needs to be.
Yep. And I think that Perfect Nose is probably going to just come down this turn, I'm assuming, because he has 2 in hand, which is kind of an annoyance. Yep. So here it is. So it's going to come down, destroy that Rattle Chains. And then next turn, and we'll see what more. Oh, actually, you can probably Spell Queller this here if he wants to.
Unified Will.
That's not bad. It's just literally counterspell right now.
Yep. Sure.
Just opt.
He's going to say, okay, you can opt. This is on the stack. What was the other card in Sean's hand? Was that a time stretch?
So that one oh yeah, I know he's under the Perfect Nodes in hand. What else? Let's try another one. He might violate a Spell Queller here to counter this.
Yep.
Yep. That seems really good. Now this is going to end up being actually a relatively quick clock because I know he has 1 Lord in hand at least, with the new Core 2020 Flying Lord.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he has any other ones.
Path to Legend has a question. Sure. Go ask away, buddy.
Is it any JAC? I don't know what's JAC.
I asked the same thing. I don't know what JAC is.
Just got Ascendancy. Oh,
wow.
Interesting. No, not that I saw. I didn't see anyone playing it out there. I'll take another walk around though and look more specifically for that. But I did not see any out there when I was walking around.
So there's the bird from M20, which is like a spirit bird. Yes.
Yes, yeah. Shapeshifters will count as every creature type, so they do count for those. That is
So
a
a time warp.
and just hard counter that. That's actually game. I think that's lethal, isn't it? It's 3. Oh no, the bird's a 2/3.
Yeah.
So I mean that's gonna be 8 coming across right now.
I don't think it matters though either because anything else he plays, he has another spell queller in hand.
Is it a spell queller or is it Druxel Captain?
I thought it was a spell queller. Let's double see. Yep, see
Oh, it is spell queller.
right there.
Oh,
So
he
unfortunately,
he just vials it in and kills him. Wow, that was a wow.
so unfortunately, that was a
lands.
very quick match.
Wow. Well, it's good for Mark though. He was saying that that he doesn't normally do well in extreme, but
Yeah,
that was a
super
pretty quick
fast.
one.
Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know he was playing aggro. Like,
Oh yeah. Well, Void Spirits has those kind of
Yeah.
draws. I mean, it's the same as humans where you can play these kind of tempo games sometimes, but there's times where you can just jam threats and just kill them real quick
Yeah.
with a bunch of lords or something.
what was your other question?
Yeah, how do Lotus Field enters a battlefield every 2 lands? What if we don't have 2 lands? So this is an interesting one. So yes, you do still have to sacrifice Lotus Field, but if you have something like Amulet of Vigor on the battlefield, you can stack the triggers that way you can untap your Lotus Field first. So if you want to untap, you play Lotus Field, put the triggers on stacks, you untap Lotus Field, you can float 3 mana and then sack it. So you can use that to ramp out on turn 2 if you have let's say. This is an example, I guess, not especially for standard, but if you want to play some 5 mana card on turn 2, you can play whatever green producing land and a birds or something like that, or a noble, and then next turn you float 1 mana, play Lotus Field, untap it 3, and then you have whatever birds you played. You play some 5 mana card on turn 2. And then with some of the cards Brought Back, which is in standard right now, you can potentially grab your Lotus Field to your graveyard and return it because they get sacked. If you untap it, you just go nuts with it.
Wasn't there a standard deck going
Yeah.
around that's like Escape Shift with the Lotus Fields or something like that?
I haven't seen it with Lotus Field.
Okay.
I did see it with it's the I don't know, something of the dead card that whenever if you have 7 different lands with different names or something like that, then you
Dread
create a
something
2/2.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, something from the dead. But it runs with Escape Shift, so you Escape Shift 4 of those into play, and 7 other lands or whatever,
Yeah.
different names. Then you're just oh, here's 50 zombies, literally 50 zombies. Yeah, I had that happen to me on Arena. I was playing, and I was what is this garbage Gates deck this dude's playing? I'm I'm gonna crush this guy. Playing Simic Flash, and then I was oh, I'll just tap out for this thing one turn, and he goes Escape Shift. Here's 42 twos. I was what? How am I supposed to beat this? You have 80 power in play. I just couldn't do anything, and I just got smoked.
The crazy decks
Yeah.
that people come up
Yeah,
with.
that's how I learned about that deck. I was okay, this is a cool one.
All right. So unfortunately, that's it for the round.
Yep.
We have 1 round remaining, round 5. We're gonna
Yep.
see who else is out there that's undefeated. But other than that, we'll get you the next round up
Yep.
soon. It looks like a lot of people are done and moving around.
Yep.
So we'll be back shortly.
It's looking like it's going to be elves most likely, by the way. A little
Fine.
sneak peek. It looks like it. We're not
That's
100% sure
perfectly
yet. But
fine.
it's looking good.
See you guys next round.
See you guys.
All right. So unfortunately, this is round 5. We had 2 players that were eager to start. So we have Daniel Murphy on Elves, and we have Mark on Blue-White Spirits. We saw a little bit of Blue-White just a little bit ago.
Yep. So we have Beast Whisperer on Daniel Murphy's side right now, drawing a bunch of cards.
Yeah.
And the Dwynen's Elite just cast there. Looks like, what is that? Oh, looks like a path hit the to the Zuri, one of the Elf Lords, I believe. It's gone now. Another trigger off Beast Whisperer.
So he can just start
Spell Quilling, whatever that.
the Heritage.
Yeah, Heritage.
Another
There's
Heritage.
another Heritage.
Sure.
Oh my goodness, he's close to going infinite here. He just needs a couple Nettle Sentinels. He can actually just make all the mana he wants.
So sure, he has 3. Let's see.
There's one Nettle Sentinel.
There's another Nettle Sentinel. Should go down to 2. There's a Zeri. So what's the other one's the actual just Elf Lord basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's one the Nettle Sentinel. So this is good.
This is actually like nearly infinite now, because you can tap the Nettle Sentinels for mana. He taps both of them and then one of the other creatures that came in, and then every green spell he casts, he would untap a Nettle Sentinel. So he's gonna be very close to be able to Crater Huffing him this turn.
And he has the hoof in his hand, which are
So it's
really
goes trigger
amazing.
trigger. Yep, untaps the 2 elves, untaps the 2 Nettle Sentinels, and every new creature he plays, he can just untap it, and the Crater Hoof is like 30 power and just smash. Oh, you only have one Nettle Sentinel? I thought that was the other one.
No, he only has 1.
Okay, so
But
he
he
needs to find
can
one more
draw into it with Beast.
Mm-hmm. It's actually close to just casting. He's at 5 mana now. Down to 2 for that.
Mm-hmm.
He can go back up to 5. 5 creatures all go to hand, and a lot of 1 mana ones too, which is good.
Did you not say that's what he did in the one match you were
He
watching
did.
too?
He was playing. Granted, the guy had like settled them he played the Wings of Abandon, the new like path overloaded it like 3 times, so he had like 20 lands out. So he probably had every land out of his deck. So he's just flipping 5 creatures off that. Dwynen's Elite's great too because it creates another 1/1, so you can tap it for mana again. He's up to 7 mana here. How big is Crater? Oh, there's another Nettle Sentinel. So he just needs, I think, 1 more creature to cast here. That Atlanta Elves will do it probably, and then he has 8. Chris Crater with an 8 cost.
It's 5 and 3, I believe. So yeah, it is an 8.
Yep, and that's game. So that was a quick one for Elves. That was looked like Legacy Elves. That was a combo kill. Like, oh my goodness.
He had basic forests out there, right? He didn't have cradles. Are we sure he didn't have cradles out there?
Man, it looked like it. Well, I guess we're going post for it now already.
So
Yeah, so we've got a lot of stuff. Let me see on Daniel's
So we were
side.
just talking about the Herald. I'm assuming the Herald's coming in.
Guys, Herald. Yeah, it says creatures can't be countered by spells or abilities. So the thing that's interesting about it is that it doesn't stop Spell Queller, because Spell Queller exiles it from the stack, and there's not that many counter spells out of Mark's deck that is gonna actually do anything. Unified Will is not good in this matchup.
No, it's not good in this
So
matchup.
I think that he's probably not gonna bother bringing that in. It's probably mostly just for the like blue-white matchup or something like that. So I think there's a good chance those aren't coming in.
Yeah, so Mark even has...
I could see something like Pithing Needle potentially coming in just to name the just to stop Aether Vial shenanigans, or something like Rex Age maybe for that. Choke possibly. There's not enough islands in the deck though.
No.
Most of them are fast lands. There are a decent amount of shock lands. Chokes I think is a lot better against Bant Spirits because they're running a lot more fetches and shocks. Against blue white, they're running all the fast lands in the deck, and so it's not as good. But I could see it depending on what he wants to take out.
Yeah, I really see Daniel Murphy you obviously say he's pile shoving. I really think he just went, yep, I don't need anything.
Yeah, I don't think there's much to bring in.
And I know Mark really well. Mark's probably in his head right now thinking, like, how do I beat this and this and that.
Yep.
He's questioning everything. But,
So Blessed Alliance and Worship,
yeah.
those are the two. Worship is insane. If he lands Worship, he probably cannot lose. Elf does not have enough removal to deal with it, so Worship will just win him the game. The Blessed Alliance is just a removal spell, essentially. If he just does what he did that game and just put it in Crater Hoof and just swing with just Crater Hoof, Blessed Alliance will make him sack it. Eidolon of Rhetoric could be another one too.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, because it stops those crazy turns like that he just
Yeah.
had. So I think there is a lot from Mark's side he can bring in for sure. Probably those 4 or 5 cards. see a.
So I would have thought the Thalia would have came out.
Yeah, he might have enough other stuff to take out potentially.
There's a selfless. I don't think you play it, or maybe you do play it this turn.
It's always okay. Should hit for 1. Swing. There you go. Get your damage in. So yeah, the Dana falls down to 19. Yep. And we have the Elvish Archdruid. That is.
Yeah, Elvish Archdruid.
Yep. Trigger. Smash for 4. So going on the aggro plan here for Mark. He did miss a land drop, but he's got a quick log. Looks like he drew an Aether Vial, which kind of sucks. Sucks drawing that anytime after turn 1.
Well, there's that Nether Sentinel, which is really good. Well,
Yeah.
there it is. So right now he's producing a bunch.
Yes, right now he has a ton of mana, but he doesn't have anything to do with it yet. He just has a lot of, and he can dump his whole hand, but there's like, I guess his elves are getting
he
big
has
enough.
no draw ability right now,
Yeah, nothing to draw cards, and nothing. And he doesn't have a Cradle Hoof to dump his mana into.
which is fine. He can just he knows he doesn't
Yeah.
really have wrath effects, so he can just dump his board and just get all the
Yeah.
pumps and everything.
So yeah, I'm assuming it's Vile, Mausoleum Wanderer,
Yeah, which
and I don't know how much power is on the side of the board. Math is for blockers, and I am not blocking in this one. So yeah, I got no idea. So it looks like he's repping Path, which I do not think he has. So
Hollow, this is the last round. This is round 5 for the night.
yeah, we might have to find another game because this. Oh my goodness, Pith Needle. Yeah, Pith Needle I assume came in just for the Vile, just because that's probably the way that the Dana lose this match is getting a super quick draw with Vile. It doesn't. I mean, Thalia doesn't matter at all, so I'm not even gonna bother.
Yes,
So you can-
Thalia, though, he has to pay 1 more for that.
yeah, I'm saying like he's empty-handed right now, and he doesn't. Does he have any activated abilities? Let me.
You wanna
Yeah,
go
let
tell
me
him
go
that?
yell at him just in
Let me
case.
let's stop it for a second. Let's tell him to pay 1 more. 'Cause he should be paying 2. There it is. There you go, guys. We got it for him. Thank you, Magician. We saw that. We just trying to let him resolve it. I don't think it made a big
Yeah.
issue right now.
Yeah,
though.
I don't think it matters, but I know the Elvish Clan Car has an activated ability, so he might have to have 1 extra creature for it.
Yeah.
So it may come up.
Mark is trying to count. Like we said, counting is for blockers, and obviously he's trying to block here. Which
So yeah, you can throw a bunch of stuff, Sax Elven Spirit, but I mean everything is like getting +3/+3 because he has 3 lords,
yeah.
and you can grab another one because that's yeah. Does that lord go to hand or the battlefield? Goes to the battlefield.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so that was a quick one.
All right, let me go find somebody else because that was a insanely fast game. Holy crap. Okay. I'll be back.
That was extremely fast, guys. We didn't think Elves was going to go off that quick. It shows the power of Elves. Normally we would end it, but unfortunately, how quick that match was, we got to show you guys something else for sticking around with us all night. Yeah, Magician, that's a terrible matchup for Spirits. That's something that me and Dan were talking about. If it was Banned Spirits, he might have a little bit different of a go. But being blue-white, it's just a very bad matchup. I don't think the addition of Beast Whisper is just, it's brutal for any deck. Like I said, thank you guys for sticking around. We're going to put one more match up real quick, and we're going to call it the night. Like we said, we stream Friday and Sunday. We do have a YouTube channel, same as our Twitch. We post all our videos over there in case you missed any of them. Let's see who we're trying to get. We possibly might get Table 2, which was, I think, we might get Mike Hamlin back up here, which we all know Mono Green. He lost super quick the prior round to Sam that was playing Humans, which was another terrible bad matchup. But that's part of Magic, is getting your bad beats. Unfortunately, that was really bad on Mark. Feel bad. All right, so we're getting Neoform again, and we're going to get Mono Green. So this could be another quick one. We will be ending the stream after this matchup, though. I'd like to thank everybody that did come out and chat to watch us stream. Friday and Sundays, like the days we stream, Standard on Friday, Modern on Sunday.
Do you know what game this is?
This is game 2, and Neoform took game 1. Yeah, this is probably I think it's flipped, by the way. Yeah. So they this is probably a very bad match for Mono Green. They don't have nearly enough interaction.
No,
for
not at all.
So I think we grabbed them, but this might be over very quick as well. If Jerry
That's
finds
perfectly
his hand.
fine. We had a great turnout. We showed a
Yeah.
bunch of different decks
Yeah.
this week.
Honestly, I just wanted to see the Neoform deck one more time.
I hear you.
Anthony really wanted to go on stream, and I was like, but Neoform, man. Like, how am I not going to put Neoform on stream?
You know what? I had to pick between Anthony playing Zoo and Neoform. Nothing against
Dude,
Zoo.
slam dunk, Neoform.
Neoform.
Throw it up there, man. I don't even know what Mono Green has against us, honestly. Oh, actually, you know what? Grafdigger's Cage. Grafdigger's Cage ends the game, pretty much.
I don't remember seeing it in his sideboard, though.
I don't know what Mono Green has against us then.
I don't remember seeing that when we
I don't know.
sideboarded.
Got to kill quick then. Looks like a one-lander for Mike. Maybe 2. There might be a second forest there.
Well, he has a treetop village. I don't see another forest. Oh, that's the one
Yeah.
right there. Yep.
There's
So
a
he
forest.
has 2.
Does he have, yeah, okay. Yep, Jerry's going to be mulliganing very aggressively for it.
I think his hands are getting bad due to those sleeves. We've talked about
Dude,
those sleeves.
I'm going to go buy him some new sleeves, man. Those sleeves are rough. They've been through some hard times, man.
So do we know what their record were? Were they table 2 or
They're
table
both
3?
They're both, I believe, 3-1
Okay.
right now, or X1. I'm pretty sure it's round
Yep.
4 right now. Yeah, or this is round 5.
X1, yep.
Yeah, so I believe they're both 3-1. They were table 3, I believe.
Okay, so there was a table 2 that was...
Yep, they were either 2 or 3. I honestly can't remember. I think table 2 was blue-white. Yeah, table 2 is the blue-white matchup against somebody else, and
it
they
just
were-
lost last round, so it has to be table 2.
so they were going on game 1 for a while still.
So what does he have? He has the pact. He has that.
It's not a worm, is it? So reckless charge. Probably gonna go to the bottom. It's not needed. Is that first card Shoal, or is that a?
Yeah, the first card is a shoal, then it's
Yeah.
a Manamorphose.
Card does very little in this matchup. Let's see. So Eldritch Evolution. He's usually got an Autochron Worm. This is kind of an awkward draw for Jerry. I don't think he has a Neoform. Do you see a Neoform, or is it just the?
No Neoform.
Yeah, just the Pact, and then he's got the Eldritch Evolution. So he needs to rip a couple lands here. I know this is interesting because in this Mono Green matchup he has so much time. He can afford to keep a slower hand, but it's kind of rough here because he doesn't have the lands for it. So I'm kind of
Yeah.
surprised he didn't just go down to 5. So I feel like you can afford to, I don't know, I feel this hand is relatively far away. You need 2 lands, and then he's got the Pact for the Allosaurus Rider.
Yeah, just another little bear, basically.
Yep. Yeah, this is a slow draw from Mike as well. He needs to chain, like, I don't know, probably Steel Leaf Champion into Strangleroot Geist here to try to kill quick. He's got Strangleroot Geist in hand there.
So is he gonna tap for Manamorphose to try to figure something out?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically free rolling. You just draw a card.
Just another
Well, that's the
land.
Eldritch. So he has the kill next turn actually, because he can Pact. Oh, actually, he might have. No, he doesn't have to kill this turn. I don't think he has the mana for the Eldritch Evolution though, because he already played a. Did he already play land this turn, or
No.
I thought he just played the land this turn.
Actually he did.
So he missed one land drop.
Yep.
So next turn, I believe he has it though. If he'd like to draw another green card, so he doesn't have to exile the worm. because exiling the worm gives you a somewhat substantial chance of bricking, just because you're not able to gain the 16 life off of the shoals.
Yeah.
Mike's on a very slow draw here.
Well, there's
Spirit
another
Guide.
Mana Ape.
Yeah, it's not a green card, unfortunately. He'd really like to draw another green card, I think, so he doesn't have to exile the worm. Because he can't exile the Eldritch Evolution. So he goes for Sounders Pact.
So he's going to go after...
Yep. So grab Allosaurus Rider. I think he still has to exile the worm from his hand. But now he's going to get to draw... Actually, this is interesting. He can only draw 7 cards here. He does have the shoal already in hand. But because his life total is already at 10, he can't draw 14 like he normally could.
Yeah.
The other thing, though, he might not want to. He might just... Although he packed it this turn, didn't he? So
did.
he has to go for the kill.
Oh, he could pay for the pact.
No, it's 4 mana. He only has 3.
He has the guide in hand, doesn't he?
Oh, he does have the guide in hand. So he could. Interesting. So I wonder if he wants to just grab... it's interesting. I wonder if he wants to grab Grizzlebrand and then just let it sit there. And next turn he pays for Pact, and he can hit and then try to kill next turn after gaining 7 life. It would put him dead to like some random removal spell from Mike, but it's definitely less risky, I think, if he takes it that
Yeah,
line.
it really is less risky.
Because I don't know what removal spell Mike could potentially have, and none of the creatures are going to be big enough to really do anything. If he had like a Dismember or something, after hitting with the Geist, or if he blocked the Geist, that could do it. But even then, he could try to combo at instant speed still. So let's see if he tries going for it here. So you can definitely draw 7, because I guess that's just a free roll. Looks like he didn't. Oh yeah, so he has Shoal and Worm in hand still, actually.
What else did he get off that Grishol?
So he gained 16. And I saw he got a couple cantrips and a Neoform off it.
So he gained
Or
the
15,
16
yeah.
off of it. So he's,
Or
he's
15.
what,
So
back up
he's
to
at
9.
or he's at 18. I think it's 15 for the Worm.
Okay. He's just going to dig for the win now.
He's counting his library right now. So it's 28. He has 30, like 33 cards, I believe.
Yep.
So he needs to be able to draw 28, and then he has 5 cards left over, which I believe he has the Lab Maniac kill this time. I believe that's what he showed when he's going through his deck. Which is actually very interesting, because if he didn't have Lab Maniac in like he was talking about before, the Dry Militants shut off the Conflagrate kill.
Yep.
Because the Conflagrate would go to exile. And so it is very good that he has Lab Maniac. So it looks like he's going to search for the Lab Maniac. Oh, okay. Search for Worm and then Shoal.
Yep.
Sure, and then Shoal. Sure. So yeah, he needs to find the Lab Maniac though.
So
in order
he is on the right total at 4, right?
yes, he went up to 18 and then took 14 to draw 14, I believe. So yes.
So he'll just do the show again to gain another.
Yep, and he gets exiled from the Dry Militant. So I believe this will put him back up to 19 now. And then he gets to draw 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then he's going to need another 7 because I did not see a Shoal there. Is it else or just okay. So I see Conflagrate in his hand. Does he not have a...
Yeah, but the
I
only
thought that Lab Maniac.
The only issue with that route is he can't.
I know he can't do it that way.
So that's the only route. So he has to go Maniac route.
He has to have Lab Maniac in his deck. Hopefully he does.
I think he's figuring it out for himself. 2, 3,
Let's see if he does.
4.
He also
5,
needs to have a Manamorphose
6,
as well.
7.
Which
think
I know he
has one.
exiled one
I think he has
and
one.
cast another. Yep,
Yep,
okay.
there's
He does have a Morphose. So he has the blue mana that he needs. Now, I believe this is
Oh,
where
he
he's
has two.
down. I believe he is down to 5 cards right now, which means he needs to be able to cast. This is very close because he only has 2 Morphos and he has 5 cards left. So I think he actually just needs to get lucky here. He needs for that Lab Maniac to be in the top 2 cards of his deck. Or. Unless he has. Oh, no, sorry. He has another 7 to go. Does he have 7 exact? No, he doesn't. So that's 7 plus another 3. Does he have a way to get through the last 3 cards? Because he has 1 more Morphos. Then you can draw 1 more. There's 2 cards left in the bottom. So this actually might just come down to luck here. Because I don't think he has the extra mana. Unless he can draw the 7 there. To find the last elf. Or the last spirit guide. To get 1 more extra mana so he can cast like Seer Visions. Yeah, this is really close here. Oh, that's actually gas. That's actually... so part of the problem, though, is that... So if he has to go for the Lab Maniac kill... So he still has the 1 Simeon Spirit Guide in hand. So he can actually Reckless Charge the Gristlebrand, hit him for 10. Next turn he has to pay for Pact. Which he can. And then he can hit him again with the Gristlebrand for 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then he hasn't done the following turn, which I don't know if Mike was on a clock. We're going to have to outpace a Gristlebrand hitting him for 10 with lifelink. So he could just go that route because he still has the 1 mana left to pay for Pact. And he also has a land he could play. Or no, he did play land this turn, didn't he? He played the Forest. So after he scries both bottom, though, so he has 1 red floating. Actually, yeah, he needs to draw. He needs to draw Simeon Spirit Guide as well. So you can cast Morphos to draw another card. Does he have a shoal?
No. I didn't see another one in there.
Wow, he might just be dead. So you can Reckless Charge. Gosh, this is so close. So he can Reckless Charge to draw. The problem is he can't Lab Maniac kill this turn. So he hits for 10. Puts Mike down to 10. And then Jerry goes up to 15. The problem is he doesn't have another Spirit Guide. And I don't know if that's lethal that's being presented on the way back. Oh, he has a Spirit Guide now. So he won't die next turn. And he can't hard cast the Lab Maniac next turn. This is actually super... Okay, this is actually super scary. I believe he only has 1 card left in library. So I think that Jerry's actually going to deck himself... Yeah, so he was actually going to deck himself before he could play the Lab Maniac. That's crazy, because he couldn't present lethal next turn. Yeah, he even showed him the Lab Maniac. Wow, man, that's really close. This is actually the Neoform deck, Hellboy. This is the new, kind of new-ish Gristlebrand deck with Neoform and Eldritch Evolution in it.
Yep.
Wow, so that was actually a really, really close one. So I don't think there was any miscalculation there. I think it was just some bad luck that he wasn't able to hit in the last shoal that I believe was still in his deck. Yeah. Yeah, there was a turn 1 kill earlier. He was on the draw, so it wasn't as cool as the turn 0 kill. It wasn't quite. I mean, he did lose the die roll, so, you know, we can't all be winners. But he won it through a Pat's Exile, too, so... yeah, but it was fantastic watching him pilot that deck, or pilot the same deck he's playing right now in that earlier match.
Yeah, that was a really close one. I think he was digging. He was really trying to get it. He just couldn't find it where it was.
Yeah, that's just kind of the bad luck that comes with like combo decks like this. That sometimes you just brick, and it just happened to be that Lab Maniac was too far down in his deck, and he couldn't find the shoal that he needed to get there. It's spelled Tondini. Andrew. His last name is spelled with an O. It's Tondini.
Why was that not corrected the first time he was on?
I don't know.
That's definitely what it looked like the way he wrote it.
Andrew's telling me that he has really bad handwriting, so not to blame us. His handwriting is atrocious. Yeah, it's not our fault, I swear. That's what he wrote. That's what he wrote down. Are you sure he didn't get his last name changed? That might have been it. It's I mean, it's a better 2-mana birthing pod
Yeah.
because it. Well, I don't know. If it's a better 2-mana. It's a very good 2-mana birthing pod. It's not repeatable, but it's much better in this deck than I would say birthing pod probably would be.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess you could play. Could you play pod in a deck like this? I guess. Because pod's still 2-mana, right? Because you pay the 2 life. That's 2-mana, right?
No,
Or is it 3?
it's 3.
No, that sucks. Pod's garbage.
Now it is. 'Cause it's sitting on the bench, just sitting there watching everybody.
Honestly, okay. Changed my mind. There was nothing wrong with pod. Pod should be unbanned. It was like a fair-ish deck. There was no like, granted, like you like somewhat infinite combo with it eventually, but it was slow enough that there's no reason it should be banned right now.
So were you playing Modern when Sam Party was playing Pod?
I was playing when I could turn 0 somebody with Hive Mind. That was a fun deck.
That wasn't my question there,
Well,
though.
I mean, it was the same time period, so yeah. Roughly, I think.
The issue with Pod was Cedar Rhino was the nail in the coffin for Pod. It was.
Yeah. Summer Bloom. That was that's what I'm talking about. The
Yeah,
Summer
see-
Bloom time, that was fantastic.
But even like Howlboy says it was the infinite combo. That was
Yeah.
the thing. And that was one thing that Wizards always said is they didn't want infinite combos that didn't just win the game.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't win. It stalled the game out so much longer.
Yeah.
And it was just they can go different angles. So if they didn't have the combo to deal damage, it was like, yeah, I'm gonna gain infinite life. Well, you can't
Yeah.
say infinite. You have to pick a number.
Yeah.
Sure. So
38
people,
billion.
yeah. So people were coming up with these ridiculous numbers,
Yeah.
and it was like, can you fight back? So there were people that were going to these events and going into turns because they were just like, I'm not giving up.
Yep. So Summer Bloom is also kind of my first Modern deck. I didn't buy the deck. One of my buddies owned the deck. I played mostly just Standard at the time because I was just getting into Magic right
Yep.
around then, right around Cons, or Theros Cons or so. And so my buddy was like, "Hey, come play Modern with me." And he played Living End, and he was a great Living End player. All right, so let's look at this again. Okay, he's got Allosaurus Rider. And Standard Visions, I think he's missing unless that's the Eldritch Evolution, the one that's hiding,
That
like
is
the
an
fourth card.
Eldritch, Yep. That is an evolution.
So he's just 1 mana off, really. He has Chancellor. Ooh, man, so close. He draws. Oh no, he's on the play.
Oh, look at
So-
that. Snapcast in the chat trying to convince more people play Neoform.
Yeah. You know what I mean? The more you keep speaking up about it, though, the quicker it's going to get banned. I'm telling you.
In order for Wizards to know about it, though, one of these pros.
Oh my
has
God, he
to-
just drew the deal for. Okay, so
Wizards has to see the results, and that's how they work.
I'm waiting for the next Modern Open or Modern GP to see if it puts up results, but he's got the turn 2 kill right here. Actually, he's going to be able to put the Allosaurus Rider in his hand into play, exiling the Chancellor and the Eldritch Evolution. Oh, naming Gristlebrand. That's how you finish the game, actually. So this is actually really tough now because we'll have to see what his answer is to Pithing Needle. He might just have to beat down with Allosaurus Rider here, which is not good against Mono Green. That or actually, you know what? He probably just grabs Gristlebrand and starts beating down with Gristlebrand. He can't activate it to combo kill, so it's good that he didn't have to pact for the Allosaurus Rider. Otherwise, this might be a quick game for him. Yep, just beating down with the Gristlebrand. I mean, who would have thought a turn 2 8/8's pretty good, right?
So if you were a combo player and you had to pick between this and Adnaz, would you pick Neoform?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you can interact with what Adnos does to some extent. I don't know how you really interact with this.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Tobin's vetoes looks pretty good when you're on the play, but if you're on the draw, even if you're on the play, if they just go off on turn 1, what do? You have to have force a negation. Even that's not good sometimes.
Yeah.
Just pack the negation it. It's like whatever. Yeah. Oh God. Literally all non-creature spells for Mike.
Poor Mike.
This feels bad too because literally if Mike was on the play, this game is very different because he's not able to turn to that Gristlebrand. He has to wait one more turn because the Damping Sphere will be out. But I don't know if it would matter unless Mike was able to draw something like a Dismember to kill the Allosaurus Rider, which would be insane.
All right, well, there's something, but still,
That's the troll.
that's the Barkhide troll, so it's not doing anything special. It doesn't have reach or anything, so
Not quite as beefy as the giant flare on the side.
so Neoform because human is still getting better and meddling mage is terrible. Also, baby Teferi is rough.
Yeah, it's gonna be a game here. Yeah, there's nothing Mike could do. Mike,
And
I mean, the thing is tough is like Pithing Needle's nice because it stops that, but if he had Grafdigger's Cage turn 1 instead of Pithing Needle, this game is very different.
Yeah.
Because you need to literally, you have to find an answer. You can't Neoform
Yeah,
then.
it
You're beating
just
down with Allosaurus Rider.
it just shows no matter what you're playing. So even if you're playing a combo deck, you have to know if there's something that really stops you. You have to know what your other game plan is, and that's what
Yep.
he just said. All right, that's fine. I'm just gonna go beat, and it could have been a little bit different for Mike, but I don't even know if he had anything that could stop that Gristlebrand. Honestly,
Yeah, so that's the thing that's kind of interesting about decks like this. Same with like Hogak, is that it requires someone of a specific answer, but once they answer it,
Yeah.
like for example, like Grafdigger's Cage, that's the card that's needed in this matchup. There's
Yeah.
really nothing else you can do to interact with it other than playing Grafdigger's Cage. And if they do it on turn 0, essentially, if they're on the play, they just go for it. If you're not playing blue, you lose. Like
Yeah.
you don't have an out for that at all, unless you're playing Force Negation.
see, learning that was even more big. So Jerry was really big ad nos player, but he dropped it because of humans. So see, everything has basically that deck that just destroys it.
Yep.
So, but unfortunately, that is it for tonight's streaming. Round 5, all over and done. We'll be back Friday to stream some standard, and back on Sunday to stream more modern. I'm Brad Ulo,
I'm Dan Krapu.
and we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for tuning in.